All right, everyone, we are 1 week away from opening day, and it's finally time for everyone's favorite time of the year, off-season grades and season predictions. This is where we put it all on the line. We give our general takes going into the season, and the best part is when we get to go back in September and bully each other for being so stupid. But anyways, welcome to the Mets Weekly Roundtable, folks. Let's create some false hope. Let's do it, man.
This is Frank Cugino from Frank About Sports.
What's going on, guys? Andrew Acevedo back.
What's going on, everyone? Mets Talk with Hayden is the name.
What is going on, everybody? This is Mets Fan from YouTube.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Tony Metro.
Big Apple Banter Media here with Elias. That's weekly.
Mets Weekly.
Mets Weekly.
Mets Weekly.
Mets Weekly.
Welcome to Mets Weekly. All right, before we get started, let these guys introduce themselves. We'll start with Andrew Acevedo. We'll go around the horn.
Yeah, what's going on, guys? Content coming up. Obviously, tonight, MLB The Show 22 drops. I will be live midnight Eastern, 11 my time. Be streaming for a couple hours, doing launch night pack opening and stuff. Also, this weekend, we'll get out the rest. We're doing Mets predictions tonight. This weekend, I'll drop my rest of MLB season predictions this weekend.
All right, Frank About Sports.
Yeah, Frank About Sports, as you see right there, waiting for Monconfort to sign so I can make a video about it. But eventually I'm going to make my predictions as well. Like Andrew was saying, we have my own video too. I did a video earlier this week with Texas Rangers content creator talking about the Rangers offseason and maybe some other like offseason team grades and things like that, looking at how everything went for all these different teams. But glad the Mets are back. This way we could get back to, post-game recaps, live watch-alongs, things like that. So it's an exciting time of year.
All right, Big Apple Banter Media, Elias.
What's good, everyone? Elias from Big Apple Banter Media here. Gonna get episode for season predictions out, hopefully. Some records, awards, all that good stuff. So yeah, check out my channel, Big Apple Banter Media. Hyped to be on another episode of Mets Weekly. We got some good stuff coming up. So.
All right, Tony Metro.
Hey, what's up, guys? Tony Metro. Have not been doing too much on YouTube lately, but if you're into community college baseball or softball, you can check out what I'm doing right now. I've been doing the play-by-play and color commentary for the school I'm attending. No, but seriously, I'm trying to get back into the game here, and I'll probably have some predictions out for Major League Baseball in the next week before opening day.
All right, Mets Talk with Hayden.
What's going on, everyone? Mets Talk with Hayden is the name. I appreciate all tuning in. Feel free to check me out. Videos, live streams. Been doing a lot of content lately, so definitely feel free to give me a check. LFGM.
All right, and our special guest who last time he was here, he created one of the greatest clips in Mets Weekly history during our all-time Mets draft. 5PointsVids, if you want to introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm a known shit poster, getting ready to be disappointed once again by the Mets, a team that I've been a fan of since 1985, and yeah, it's another year. It's great to have baseball back because it was pretty scary there for a moment, but we're back. I can't wait to see Max Scherzer pitch and Jake Degrom enjoy a healthy, successful year. But let's get it, boys.
All right. Well, before we get started, you guys know the drill. Make sure to subscribe to the Mets Weekly channel. Put on those post notifications to never miss a live roundtable show every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern. Everyone's individual links are also in the description as well, so make sure to go check everybody out. If you guys have a question that you wants to ask the roundtable, make sure to leave it in the chat, and we'll be able to star it and answer it throughout the show. So, let's get into our first topic here, and it is off-season grades. We have two sections. We'll have off-season grades, and we'll have season predictions. We'll start with off-season grades. Now, I think starting off the big move, Max Scherzer, I think that one pretty much is an A+ from everyone, unless anybody wants to put their hat into the ring and think different and give a hot take. Going once,
too much money.
twice.
He's too old.
No? Okay. Anyways, so let's start with Eduardo Escobar. The Mets signed Eduardo Escobar. He was the first one to go on Black Friday to a 2-year, $20 million contract with a team option for year 3. So grades for Eduardo Escobar. I'm going to start with Elias.
Yes, so I went with a B+ for Eduardo Escobar. I like the value at $10 million a year. You're getting a pretty solid hitter who's just a professional who can play third base, can play second base, gets the RBIs, your favorite. So overall, I think a really good signing. I like having the option for the 3rd year since he is a bit older. You're not going to give him the full guaranteed 3 years. So really good value for the Mets, and he's a really solid player. I think he's going to do really well with us. So B+.
All right. Tony Metro. Eduardo Escobar.
I'm gonna go with a B-. Now, I really like Eduardo Escobar, the player himself, but when the Mets signed him, I did not believe that he was going to be our starting third baseman for this year. I really had my sights set on someone like Chris Bryant, or even bringing back another bat like Conforto. Now Eduardo Escobar is kind of like one of those big offseason additions for this lineup. Obviously, having Marte and Canha is really nice. I do like Escobar, the player. I just am not thrilled that he is our everyday third baseman. He's not exactly a defensive stalwart over there. And, hopefully the numbers will translate. I see Frank giving me some crazy looks, but I mean, this guy had an OBP of like 298 last year. Okay. Let's not act like this is, we're bringing in a superstar.
You want to give Chris Bryant 7 years?
100%.
All right. Then never mind.
You could have traded for Donaldson too. Lol Mets. All right. Andrew. Eduardo Escobar.
Yeah, I'm same as Tony. A B-. Again, better. There were better options out there. I like Escobar. He'll fill a role on his team. Not going to go ballistic about it. He's a solid player. Same contract as Jed Lowry, and he's already gave us more production than Jed Lowry, so we're off to a good start.
All right. Does he have this? He has more plate appearances than him in spring training, right? Just making sure. Okay, Mets talk with Hayden Escobar. What do you give him?
Yeah, I give it a flat B. Honestly, I think it's a fair deal. Offensively, obviously, you have that switch hitter, which is something that the Mets can definitely benefit off. We know that kind of last year they really had questions over that left-handed batting presence, so Escobar could definitely solve that. And that really comes into handy, in between games. If there's a bullpen move or something like that, they put up a lefty instead of a righty. That could really help out Escobar. Obviously, great hitter. He's coming off one of his best seasons with the I think it was the Brewers, right? Coming off one of his best seasons, All-Star, knocked to 90 RBIs. I mean, if you could put him behind Pete Alonso, that could be very good. And that 5th spot, or arguably that 4th spot, that could be really good. That way, a lot of pitchers don't just have to walk Pete, because then you have a very deadly hitter right behind him. So that could be something very big. Defensively, okay, great. I mean, it's a nice short-term deal. Obviously, you're waiting up for a Beatty, or, most likely Beatty, I would imagine, would be the future of the third base for the New York Mets. So short-term deal until you get him. Really not much to say about it. Hopefully he could be a solid piece to this Mets team.
All right, 5 points vids. Eduardo Escobar. Any notes on him?
I'm not gonna hate it. I think it's like a B. Just it's low risk. It's kind of sucks because third base is like an all-star position. Like, it is a Chris Bryant position, and I don't think anyone here would not be jumping for joy if we signed Chris Bryant. Like, I thought we were all waiting for that to happen, and Uncle Steve, we thought was going to bust out the checkbook. Maybe he just didn't want to come play in Queens, but it's okay. It's okay. Like, the guy is going to bat 250, hit you 20 bombs. That's, like, to me, would be productive. So, but third base is a money position, and we're paying this guy average, but you'd like to see more out of that position.
All right, Frank, you're steaming.
Yeah, go ahead, unload.
Go ahead.
I mean, I don't know. I think people are underrating him. They don't realize all the things he could do. Like I said, good switch hitter, really good clubhouse guy. You're not going to hear any drama from Eduardo Escobar. If anything's going to help prevent any drama, any guys being out of place. He's a real professional. He talks to the minor league camp. He did a whole speech with them about his story being underdog. And in his career, Eduardo Escobar has played second base, shortstop, third base, left field, and center field. So he also gives that versatility that is probably going to be really important when we 162-game season. You never know what's going to happen, who's going to overperform, who's going to underperform. I understand Chris Bryant was the sexy name. He's the MVP. The guy that won an MVP is never going to win another one. Eduardo Escobar and Chris Bryant were on the All-Star team together this year. Eduardo Escobar, he's a guy that could hit 30 home runs. We know he's driven in plenty of runs, but also he's a guy that, you know what, when you have guys like Nemo and Marte that are getting on base, Lindor getting on base, you need someone that's going to swing the bat to get the guys home. He's up there hacking. He's up there. He's going to put the ball in play. Whether he's going to hit it hard or not, it doesn't matter. He's going to move runners over. He's just going to be in there taking quality ABs. And people forget that our third baseman the past year or two has been Jonathan VR and JD Davis. Eduardo Escobar is quite an upgrade over both of those guys, whether it's defensively or offensively. And like you said, $10 million for 2 years really isn't bad. He's a perfect guy in between for Beatty or Vientos or, Mauricio, whoever comes in. And again, since he has that versatility, he can move over to somewhere else, wherever you need him, whatever's going to happen. And if he's a utility guy in the second year, that's fine.
Frank, I don't want to interrupt.
He just hit a home run.
Just hit a home run.
Yep. He just hit a home run.
Frank loved him.
I changed my grade. A plus.
A plus. Amen. The new David Wright.
I see what direction we're going in. Okay.
Timing was perfect
You
there.
hit a
Oh my
homer?
God.
You hit a homer?
Did a solo shot to left.
There you
Solo
go.
shot. Yep.
Lovely.
Right-handed?
Okay.
Right-handed. So when
Anyways.
right-handed, left-handed.
He knew I was about to
Thank
speak.
you, man.
Okay. B-. I'm going to go with Tony and Andrew. I understand the direction the Mets wanted to go in with this, and I think they needed to refresh from Chili Davis ground ball nonsense, and Escobar has that short and pop swing that we just saw. Listen, I know he drove in 118 runs in 2019, and that's great, but again, that's 3 years ago, and to my understanding,
90 this season.
Yeah.
2021.
Again, not in a Mets uniform as well.
As he's
And
hitting
to
home
my
runs.
understanding, he can't really do it when it matters. So his high leverage numbers are terrible. So even though he is a sustained hitter, that sustained hitting, he's kind of preserved like these past few years. It's just average at best, in my opinion. I'm sorry. But since Escobar was like that primary infielder the Mets brought in this offseason, this is technically your replacement for Javier Baez. So his biggest strength of driving in runs at the mass 3 years ago, I mean, that does not cover the amount of value that Baez covers. Let's be real for a second. He's a good offensive player.
They get paid less than half what Baez is making.
Yeah,
Baez
and
barely ever
Baez
here,
deserves
dude.
more than that.
He was never,
But he's a great.
You're not replacing
He's a
a
great
guy who was
He's a
barely
good
here.
offensive player. Can you let me finish? Jesus
Sorry,
Christ!
my bad.
Before
Go for it.
something
Go for it.
explodes. All right, he's a great offensive player, but can he actually do it when it matters? I personally don't think so. That's just my opinion. Anybody
we're
else? wanna
used to that
continue?
already
Or
with
ask?
Conforto, aren't we? Can't do it when it matters. So then
You know
nothing
who
really
is better than Eduardo Escobar with runners in scoring position? Michael Conforto.
doubt it.
No, you want me? Would you like a report? Would you like a report from me?
He draws 2 more
Walks don't get RBIs.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about actual.
All right.
hits.
Next
Actual
topic.
hits.
Let's go. Who's next?
Anyways, the next one, Mark Canha. Mets signed Mark Canha to a 2-year, $26.5 million contract with a team option or player option? Team option for year 3. Grades for Mark Canha. We'll start with Mets talk with Hayden.
Yeah, I mean, I really like the Mark Canha signing, in my opinion. I think it was arguably the best offensive move the Mets made this offseason, and I'm going to give it an A-. I like Mark Canha. Obviously, he's another table setter guy. Obviously, one of the biggest concerns for the Mets last year, I guess, was runners in scoring position and providing offense and simply just getting on base when it really mattered most. And I think Canha is literally another table setter. I mean, arguably, I think him and Nemo can really do something for this team. He's going to take a lot of pitches, which is definitely something that last year was not seen a lot by the Mets. They would be swinging, first, second, third pitch. Canha, just like Nemo, they're going to take a lot of pitches. So I think that's really good. So obviously, no worry about him offensively. I mean, he's not a power hitter or anything crazy like that, but another table setter, something that the Mets really need. Defensively, I mean, I don't really have any complaints about him. He'll probably start off in left. I mean, I don't really think he has the armor. Maybe, I mean, I don't know how his armor ranges would be in right field, but he could be a nice left fielder. So yeah, I'm going to give him an A-.
Okay, we'll go to 5PointsVids. Mark Canha.
Yeah, I mean, some of my grade depends on I don't know if I can grade him without seeing what happens with Conforto, right? Like he's a nice piece. Don't get me wrong. I mean, independent. I guess okay, independent. Say Conforto doesn't come back, right? Sure, we got a starter out of it. He's I mean, if you get 2019 Mark Canha, hell yeah, great signing. Great signing. I think, a lot of people have said that people are sleeping on him because he played for Oakland. Not many people were up when he was taking at bats. So I just, he's more I think it's an A. But I don't know. If you bring back Conforto, then it looks even better. It looks great. It's all right, look at all this depth we have now. We can have outfielders, depth there, and then we can sub people in at DH. But yeah, I think it's an A. For me.
All right. Andrew, Mark Canha.
Yeah, I'll give out of the park Mark a B+. Again, I like it because it gets Dom and JD and McNeil out of left field. You get a legit left fielder, stick them there. No more of these guys in the outfield. You get a quality defender, great the on-base Chad, as we've called him. And again, if you put Nemo, him, Marte, 1-2-3 lineup, that's going to be a lot of pitches. The pitcher's going to throw first time through the lineup, and those are guys that are going to get on base. Obviously, if he pops you 20 homers, you like that. Maybe he drives in a little more runs, getting out of the cavernous Oakland Coliseum. Maybe it's more homers than Citi Field, even though Citi Field isn't, the greatest hitter's park, but you will hit some home runs here that maybe don't go out at Oakland. It's a solid signing. Again, it's a high-quality depth play. One of the more underrated players in the game, analytically, and most casual fans who see the A's think he's very underrated. So, I'll give it a B+.
Okay, Tony, Mark Canha.
Yeah, I made a video about 2 years ago now, and it was 3 most underrated, 3 most overrated players in baseball, and I had him as one of the most underrated players in baseball. He's a high on-base percentage guy. You take a look at his numbers, his metrics. He's a great ball player. I kind of agree with 5Pointsvids. In a vacuum, I really like him, just like I really like Eduardo Escobar. But looking at them, in not exclusive from the rest of the offseason, it's tough because, again, I thought we were going to be getting a big name, a big bat, kind of like a Chris Bryant, or maybe bringing in a Kyle Schwarber, or, even a lesser guy like a Jock Peterson. And that could also, let's be honest about this. If Brandon Nemo goes down with his yearly hamstring pull, all of a sudden Jeff McNeil or Dom Smith are back out in left field. Really, we have, Marte then in center, and then who's playing in right? Canha, I guess. He doesn't exactly have a great arm out there. So I like Mark Canha as an individual player. However, contingent on the rest of this offseason, I was expecting a little bit more in terms of additions to the lineup. So overall, I'm going to give it a B+.
Okay, Frank, Mark Canha.
Yeah, I have him as a B, and the reason why is because the 2019 Mark Canha and the 2021 Canha, there's quite a gap in between. So if he could return to 2019, great. But is he still that guy? That's now a couple years ago. Like twice that was 3 years ago. So if he's on the downward decline, then I'll just give him a B for now. He's pretty good. He'll get on base every now and then, play decent defense. That's it. So B. Only 2 years, nothing crazy. Not crazy money-wise. B.
All right. Elias Marcena.
For me, Mark Canha gets a B+. Like Tony said, I do wish they would supplement it, with another couple big bats in the lineup as depth and whatnot. Having him as your big bat at the top of the order is not really something I wanted. I really wanted to sign him when we're doing mock off seasons, all that good stuff. Like I said with Escobar, professional hitter, good veteran, gets on base. He's pretty versatile too. I believe he's played center field, played some first base in the past few in case we ever need that. But it seems like we have a million guys on this roster that can play first base. He's just a super solid player. I would like to bring another outfielder in to kind of just move around, put him in DH sometimes. I thought, in this offseason, we were kind of going the route of what the San Francisco Giants did last year of kind of having platoons and whatnot in the outfield. They didn't have any huge names out there necessarily, and their pitching really carried them. We kind of only have, we don't really have the platoon here. We kind of only have the one guy, and you hope he can get back to his 2019 form. But from a value standpoint, from a financial standpoint, it's not a huge commitment. He's a super solid player. He likes food a lot too, if you like his Instagram. So I like that. So yeah, then I guess A+ then. No, I'm just kidding. B+ for Canha.
I like incorporating the Instagram feed into your grade.
Big league foodie, man.
Yeah.
Dude likes his food.
What about Twitter? Is he good on Twitter?
Let me check.
Is he good on Twitter?
Yeah. Does he
That's
have a
what really
Marcus
does matter.
Stroman level Twitter?
Does he have a Marcus Stroman
We don't know.
Twitter?
We're all blocked.
Or
the
does
whole
he have
panel
a
here is blocked.
Tomas Nito Twitter? Like, there's range between this,
I don't think he's on Twitter.
This is an A. All right, this is an A. We all know my dad's a huge A's fan, and Canha, I'm telling you, this guy's a real deal. I'm not gonna lie. He's got all 5 tools, which he's shown his value pretty much every single game or another. Kills left-handed pitching, gets on base. His defense is well serviceable at all 3 outfield positions. He's also a pretty good base runner. He's gotten a lot better at that too. Canha just doesn't do all these 5 tools at this superstar level of Mookie Betts or Juan Soto or Ronald Acuna Jr. But he's a smart player, and I really do think he's going to be a huge fan favorite. He's one of those guys where, not many people know much about him, but he's one of the guys I love to tell the story about because he's a really good player. So I'm happy that we got Canha, and I'm happy we got 2 guys from Oakland, technically 3, and the next guy. Unless anybody wants to say anything else on Canha, we can move on to the next one. But other than that, nope. All right, so Starling Martay, we signed him to a 4-year, $78 million contract, which is fully guaranteed. Have to include that in. Okay, we'll start with Andrew Acevedo. Grade for Starling Martay.
Well, as the Nemo apologist that I am, I was excited but also terrified that he's going to come in and play center. He's playing right, so that affected the grade a little bit. I gave it an A-. He's come in and hit well in the spring when we've seen him in games. And I'm looking at this just for this year. He's going to be productive this year, hopefully, and next year. And then you hope for kind of complete regression in year 3 and 4. Hopefully his speed's going to go away, but at least maybe it's like bat to ball skills doesn't deteriorate as bad as, Robinson Cano, which, who knows. But I'll give it an A-. Again, good speed, gets some ways, swing. Everything he's hit so far this spring has been hit hard. So, that's good to see. I'll give him an A-.
Okay. Elias, Starling Martay.
Yeah, I gave Starling Martay a B. Now, out of all of our offensive additions, I think he is the best. My only issue is the contract length. He's got good value from an AAV standpoint, but an older player like him, especially a guy who's pretty reliant on his speed and athleticism, you saw he had, 40 plus stolen bases last year. That's great now, but you wonder how that's going to age when he gets to that 4th year of the contract. I know that's what worried most people. I would still do it. I'll take the win now, aspect of let's get a guy in here now who's in his prime or his later prime years. Then he might suck more at the end of the contract. I like that approach, but from the standpoint that he might be really bad, his 2 out of 4 years of a contract kind of drops the grade down below. I really like the addition. This was a guy I was really hoping for. Just contract value-wise brings him down to a B.
All right, Frank, Starling Martay.
He has a tough one to grade because it's like, do you grade how is he going to perform this season or how he's going to perform like the longevity of the contract? Because like this year, he's an A. I mean, I love what he brings. I said all last year, oh my God, if we could only steal more bases. And we saw Starling Marte, when the Marlins traded him, he was not leading the league in stolen bases. But when he got to Oakland, Bob Melvin said, run wild, go crazy. It's like, and let's say the Mets brought in Marte at the deadline. He still would not have led the league in stolen bases because they would have never sent him. So he needs to fit the right mold. And you see Buck Shoulders saying this guy in spring training. If the Bucks got to let him run loose, then you're going to get really good value out of him. He's really going to steal a lot of bases, make a lot of things happen, put pressure on pitchers, especially if Lindor is going to indeed be batting right behind him. So I really like what he's bringing. He's playing really good out there in right field. Hopefully that makes his legs age a little better if he's playing right field instead of center field. But like everybody else, since this game is predicated on speed, you have to worry about that fourth year. But what I will say is that even though the guy is 33, 34, his speed still looks really, really good. So even if he loses a step or two, he'll still be kind of fast. I feel like this guy could just flat out move, it seems like. So I give it an A, all things considered, because I do think he will help this year. And then we'll see what happens down the road. But just for this year alone, definitely an A.
If he can move as good as Curtis Granderson did towards the end of his contract, I'm fine with it. Like, I'm fine with it.
I agree.
Tony, there we go. Starling Martay.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you, Frank. It's kind of tough to grade. Obviously, like for this year, it looks great. Obviously, we're in win now mode, so love that. We'll see how the next 3 years after that go with Starling Marte as he ages, and as everyone here has mentioned, a guy that's reliant on his speed. It's a little, I don't want to say concerning, but both him and Nemo have stated they want to play center field this year, and it looks like Marte is going to play right field. So let's see if that is something that affects him in his play. I'm hoping not. I don't think it will. I think he's a consummate professional, but overall great base runner. Obviously we know that, and not just for his stolen bases. We saw just the other day that great read he had with a little fly ball in the center, took off immediately. We're going to get that was just a little taste of what I think we're going to get all year long. It reminds me a lot of the Lorenzo Cain contract that he had signed with the Brewers, 4-year deal, almost the exact same AAV. And, really was solid the first 2 years with the Brewers, had a little bit of a down year in his third year, and then came back last year and was pretty solid. I'm pretty sure that's the chronological order of it all.
He opted out of 2020. So, yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, I see it being a lot like that. They're very similar players. So, best case scenario, the Mets get 2 really good years here out of Marte. Unfortunately, now we have the DH after that. So, who knows? Maybe he'll be a candidate to do that or play in left field, which isn't exactly cavernous at Citi Field, by the time he is 36, 37 years old or whatever he'll be 2 or 3 years from now. So I'm going to give it an A-.
Okay. 5 points vids. Starling Martay.
Here's what I like about Marte. If you look at his stats, like he's steadily improved both his average and his strikeouts. Like he's gotten his strikeouts down to less than 100 last year, which is great. So I don't know where they're going to bat him in the order, whether he's, pure leadoff or in the 2-hole, which, maybe you'd like in front of Lindor or something like that. But, and last year he stole 47 bases, only caught 5 times. That's freaking great. That's fantastic. So I definitely like the signing for the next 2 years. Like everyone has said, beyond that, who knows? But I don't think it's not my money. I don't care. Like it's Uncle Steve's money. And as long as GameStop just, continues to get shorted, then we're fine. We're good. Like, let's not care about tomorrow. We are definitely in win now. And he's the type of player that, we saw the Braves win the World Series last year. You don't have to have a great lineup to win the World Series. You just have to have a good one that gets hot late. And this is the type of player I hope that can get hot in October and have a good. I mean, he batted .310 last year. Like if we can get anything close to that and keep those strikeouts down, we're gonna have a great player. So I'm gonna say for the next 2 years, it's an A.
Yeah, get hot late, just like the Rangers, right, Andrew? Right? Yeah. I mean, look at them. I mean, they look great. For some reason, I don't have the next graphic, which is weird. But anyways, Mets talk with Hayden Starling Martay.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'd give it a solid B-. I think in terms of the performance, I think he'll be a solid addition to this team. Just kind of the length of the contract, I'm not super big on. I honestly would have gave him probably 2 years, maybe 3 instead of 4, just because are you really going to get that much of production out of a 37-year-old outfielder in the final year of his contract. We'll see. Overall, in terms of right now, I mean, we saw Marte was phenomenal last season with half of it in Miami and half of it in Oakland. He stole 47 bases. Keep in mind the Mets stole 53. This is going to be huge for the Mets. Now they have new base coaches at first and third with Cora and Kirby. New coaching staff that is aggressive. And the fact is, the Mets didn't have a whole lot of speed on this team last year. Marte is perfect for that. We saw him stole twice, or make an attempt at least twice in yesterday's spring training game. So that's going to be huge. Offensively great. In terms of him in the outfield, I'm guessing he'll probably start to play right field. He hasn't played right field in a while. I believe the last time he played was with when he was with the Pirates organization. So, we'll see how he goes out in right field. I think he'll be a solid guy there. Obviously, yeah, I mean, are you going to be able to have a 37-year-old right fielder? But, I mean, as Tony said, you have the DH down the line. Maybe you could always shift over to left. I mean, Canha only has 2 years, so you could always put him over to left. But I'm kind of glad that he's going to be right. I'm glad that Nemo has center field. So I'm going to give it a solid B-.
Yeah, as Nemo's falling on his face right now trying to catch a blue fly ball.
Yeah, maybe Marte should be out there. Nemo just had a huge
It's off the bat of Elias Escobar. That happens, guys. Come on. We already know.
Throw a fastball to his head.
Anyways, we'll have – oh, no, Taiwan's out. Never mind.
Hey, you want to blame him? Yeah, try to blame him.
I'm trying to think of a hothead to throw at him.
Lugo. No, it's Lugo.
I'm trying to think of a hothead to throw at him the next game because that's what Syndergaard did. So, Scherzer. There you go.
Yeah.
Bassitt's like he don't care. Bassitt will throw. He'd be like, yeah, I don't care.
Bassitt got hit in the face. He's like, this is what I went through.
Man, he's a silent psycho. But we'll get into him in a second. Starling Martay, it's a B for me. Marte, a lot of weaknesses that this team has that he fills. But this one's a risk. I mean, like everybody said, I mean, I really don't want to have this problem where, like we have with Brandon Nemo, where then our two of our top players could possibly be playing 80 games a year. I don't really have much of a problem with Marte as a player, but the health is just a major issue for me. I do, however, prefer Conforto over him. This lineup's too table setting heavy, in my opinion, but what do I know? He's unsigned right now. Nobody wants him. He's terrible, and he's bad batting average, bad player disease.
You
with
hurt
a
his
bad
shoulder?
Yeah, and he's got a shoulder.
What?
Conforto's not a table setter?
No.
Okay.
Hey, Dale, you know what would make your shoulder feel better?
Jesus Christ.
Frank knows.
Anyways.
Why was he having a private workout with a team in the first place?
Dude,
you're not allowed to. It's against the rules.
Dude, I don't know.
All right, go ahead, man.
It's just more
all right.
As usual.
Didn't think about
the
that.
Next, what now? What are we looking at?
Yeah, remember if he signs back and he sucks, just know he had a bad shoulder. That's the excuse this year.
Yep.
I'm not making any excuses for Conforto. He sucked last year. All right. Chris Bassitt. The Mets traded JT Ginn and Adam Aller for Chris Bassitt to the Athletics. That was tough. We got there. So grades for Chris Bassitt. We're going to start with Tony.
Today,
Tony
Junior.
Metro. That guy. There you go.
Chris Bassitt.
Yeah.
Absolute home run, grand slam, A+. This is an awesome move by the Mets. Billy Epler with a very, very, very savvy trade, in my opinion. We didn't gut the farm system at all this year, and we didn't do it in this trade either. JT Ginn obviously was, the next best pitcher in our farm system after Matthew Allen, who has some question marks coming off another injury. That being said, you got to give some to get some. This is a win-now team, as we talked about with Starling Marte, and the Mets needed a more sure thing for the 3 spot in this rotation, and we're getting more than that. Chris Bassitt could easily be a number 2 in a lot of other teams' starting rotations. So the Mets now have a bona fide 1 through 3 that could carry you through any series against any team, and every one of them could go out and throw 7 shutout innings or better on any given night. So this is an awesome, awesome move. Liked JT Ginn a lot, but the Mets are pretty heavy with draft picks coming up in this draft, have a great chance to replenish that. So for me, you know what? We're win now. We needed to get some additions to this rotation with, obviously the question marks of Carlos Carrasco and Taiwan Walker. So for me, I really, really love this trade. And it's reminiscent of me to what the Nationals had in 2019 when they had Max Scherzer, Steven Strasburg, and Patrick Corbin when he was actually good. This is very similar to me in the top 3 of that rotation with Max Scherzer, who probably not the same as he was at that time, but who knows, maybe he is. Obviously, Jacob Degrom, the best pitcher in the game. And now Chris Bassitt, who I think is just like that Patrick Corbin role for this team, where he could go out on any given night, throw a complete game shutout. But for the most part, he's still going to give you 6 to 7 solid innings and, really, really, just give your team a chance to win every time out. So A+ for me on Chris Bassitt.
You saying Patrick Corbin now or Patrick Corbin a few years
I already
ago?
said. I said Patrick Corbin when he was good.
When he was good.
When he was actually good. Okay,
Yeah.
he wasn't getting shelled every game.
Right.
Okay.
Still got lit up by JD Davis back then.
Did he?
Still getting paid $150 million, so I don't
Good
feel
work.
too
You
bad.
can get it.
And they didn't pay Anthony Rendon. That's tough.
Yeah.
But I don't care. It's the Nationals. Who cares? Andrew, you're the trade guy. So how'd you like this trade?
JT Ginn at most is going to be what Chris Bassitt is. So trading a guy for potentially 3, I'm guessing Juan Soto just hit a bomb. Guy who's not going to be Chris Bassitt.
No, Mark Canha doesn't know where the baseball is. What is he looking at? Guy got totally lost out there. Can we bump the grade down? Can we take some points off his
Can we reset?
Golly, man. Wake up.
Well, let's go back around.
Lugo should
Mad
have the
Dog
same
Russo
price
over
if these
here.
outfielders can
All
catch
right.
the ball. You're going to break the guy's UCL again.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Thanks, Mad Dog. Andrew Acevedo, floor is yours again. Chris Bassitt, yes or no?
Yeah, I mean, at best, I'll give it. I'm not going to give it an A+ because the only A+ should go to Max Scherzer. This is This is the closest you'll get to an A+. If there was an A- then you put it there. I'll give him an A. Again, JT Ginn at best in his career is what Chris Bassitt is right now. A quality number 2, number 3 starter. So you're trading a guy who you hope develops into that. For a guy right now, you're trying to win a World Series or at least make the playoffs and go deep in it and get lucky because, it's all about getting luck in the postseason, a la the Dodgers would have won it every year. So you just got to get lucky at the right time. So, again, Bassitt, I give it an A. Aller is a 26-year-old guy. He's never been in the big leagues yet. Don't really care. Ginn's the piece that sucks. But, again, you're trading Chris Bassitt potentially in 3 years for Chris Bassitt right now. So I'll give him an A.
Yeah, and we've talked about this a little bit more. We JT Ginn, personally, and also over Matt Allen, I personally think Dominic Hamill is better. That's just my opinion. But he has not been able to pitch yet, and he probably won't be up in the majors for quite a few years. So, who have I missed? A lot of people.
Everybody.
Okay, everyone. 5 points vids. Chris Bassitt. How do you like this one?
I love the move. I mean, he's coming off his best season in his career, so hopefully he gives you that again. He struck out 1 per inning last year. He's just improved on those numbers every year, and that he's the piece we needed. We needed another bona fide starter in that 3-hole, especially after losing Stroman. And hopefully this guy doesn't hate all the fans like Marcus Stroman did. No, I think this is definitely an A+ acquisition. If he gives you what he got, what he was last year, especially 3.15 ERA, I'm loving it. 27 starts last year. I love stealing all of Oakland's talent. Obviously Oakland is a pitcher's park, and cities like that, it's pretty much a pitcher's park. So these numbers, hopefully, if they're close to that, then it's a steal. And like you guys said, if we're built, I don't want to put the cart before the horse, but this is supposedly a postseason roster. You need that number 3 guy to make it not just through a 5-game or the 7 games. You got to get through all these games, and hopefully we'll be there. And this guy's going to be a stud for us. I love the deal, and it's surprising that he's already 33 though. I thought him being in the bigs for 7 years now, he'd be younger, but I guess he just kind of got started late. But whatever, man. Let's just he's definitely. I mean, we lost Cindy and we lost Stroman, and so he's the guy we needed for sure.
I was gonna say Degrom didn't make his debut till what, 25, 26?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Bassitt had Tommy John in the minors or after his
like Degrom.
rookie.
He is
Late bloomer,
Who
definitely.
doesn't?
Yeah, but I mean, he's throwing the ball now, so let's get it.
Yeah. Mets talk with Hayden, Chris Bassitt.
Yeah, I'm probably going to give it a solid A, just flat like that. I think it's a really good move, honestly. Like I said, you didn't really give up a whole lot. Adam Oller and JT Jen, like I said, they're not like they're in the top 100 prospects in MLB pipeline. So, we'll see how they pan out in Oakland. Overall, I guess solid underrated move, arguably a number one starter on, I guess, half the teams in Major League Baseball. So, I mean, the fact is that he is your number 3 starter. Having that 1, 2, 3, kind of like what 5Pointsvids says, in the playoffs is deadly. I mean, now the wild card is going to have that. It's going to be a best of, I think, was it 3 or something like that? So that's really going to be something, especially a division series, championship, World Series, whatever. That is a deadly 1, 2, 3 punch. I will say that. He's coming off of his best season, his first All-Star appearance. Nice curveball, looking good. He's pretty healthy for the most part. I mean, I know last year he got injured because he took a ball to the face. That wasn't his fault. Luckily, he is okay. But yeah, I'm going to give it a solid A flat.
All right. Any updates on the game right now? I have not been paying attention. Any notes before
Just
we?
that Lugo was very unlucky.
2 runs on Lugo.
Catch a ball.
Yeah,
All
Soto
right.
just hit a double, so it's 3-2.
The fact they call that a double is sickening. That Marcana was just standing there staring at the ball. You didn't know where to look. Oh, there's Cano hitting a double.
Hey, happens to the best of us. Hey.
Did he? Was it a double? Or was it a foul ball? What was
Please
it?
pull muscle running.
No, I think Cano actually hit a legit double.
Well, just keep running it out, Cano. It's it's fine. Keep
Please
running.
pull a
Keep
hand.
running.
Please.
Anyways, who did I miss? Elias. Chris
Yeah,
Bassitt.
I just move in. Yep, I give Chris Bassitt an A. The only things I don't like, giving up Ginn when you only got 1 year left to control is a bit troubling. But outside of that, like you said, Ginn's ceiling is probably, you hope he's a Chris Bassitt type pitcher. So really good move. Obviously coming from Oakland, pitcher friendly park, but Citi Field isn't that much different from that atmosphere. So I don't think enough people talk about how impressive he pitched after getting drilled in the face and coming back from that. Like, that's pretty damn impressive. Like I said, you'd want to have an extra year control. Maybe you resign him after this year. Also, the timing was perfect. There was, I was right after it ended. There were starting pitchers come off the market. We were worried about who we were going to get and whatnot. And I woke up from a nap and we found this move. So timing was perfect. Perfect. So yeah, Chris Bassitt, I give him an A.
This is funny, but did Cano ever move very well, like in his ever his career? I don't even know. Like, I remember seeing him bunt for a double in Fenway. That was one of his top crazy things. But Frank, Chris Bassitt.
Yeah, I was going to go Aaron. The kind of same thing Elias said, only the 1 year left on the deal. I mean, if the Mets could somehow, I mean, I was probably going to talk about contract now. I was talking about let his agent take care of that. So if they could get him for another 2 or 3 years at the end of the season, that would bump the grip even more. But I would say A. And what I like about Bassitt is that he throws a lot of different pitches, and he's a guy that he doesn't rely on velocity. I love, like I've said before, what I liked about Stroman was they're not a thrower. He's a pitcher. He doesn't need crazy velocity. Doesn't need crazy spin rate. He just throws a bunch of different pitches. He finds the spots. He's a smart guy on the mound, and that's what's going to give you sustainability. That's what's going to get you a guy that's out there every 5 days. Him being healthy this year was huge. Because I said all offseason long, don't give me a lot of these free agent pitchers too many injury concerns. You look down the line, all these guys had injury concerns. They had consistency concerns. But I said, you know what? I didn't think Chris Bassitt was realistic. That's why I was saying Tyler Nash. I didn't think Bassitt was realistic. I thought he might cost even more, or some other team would maybe step in there. But like Elias said, it kind of came out of nowhere. That's the way the Mets have moved in this new regime, out of nowhere. That's their specialty. So I really like the move. Definitely an A for me as well.
So he's basically Stroman minus the headache.
No.
He's he's not. I wouldn't say he's Stroman because he's not built different. But no, I love Chris Bassitt. This man, in my opinion, has been the most underrated pitcher in baseball for about 3-4 years. He's our number 3 starter, and he's almost guaranteed to pitch like a 2 starter every time. And he's really not that far off from being an ace. So, and I know you all saw him the other day as well. I mean, he looked great. Even though, the guy wearing number 33 was calling the game like John Gruden. But this is something that he does on a regular basis. Bassitt is a workhorse. His pitches have a lot of movement. I mean, the movement of pretty much blitzball, if you ever played blitzball. But I mean, Jeremy Hefner can really turn this guy into something really special, even though he already almost is. Just like Canha. I mean, if you don't know much about him, I mean, you're about to find out. I love my guys from Oakland. They can really play. And, I think I'm gonna pass the torch around and show everybody what so my dad can he'll see these guys succeed even though they're in a Mets uniform right now. So
Maybe you can convert him to a Mets fan.
well, I guess that's his second team technically. But we stole Cespedes from him. We've taken a lot of A's from recently. So anyways,
We gave them Familia.
Before we get into predictions, I guess we'll start from some chat questions. I think
Yeah, I
we
started
had
a
something
few if you wanna-
similar. Yeah,
No,
we had something similar
No grade on Max
about
Scherzer?
this, but I think we
I
already
think
voted
consensus
it's a unanimous A plus.
All right, that's good.
So this one's an interesting one because we've I think we said something about who gets center field, but I don't think anybody has said who leads off. I mean, it's kind of the way Nemo has kind of looked like in spring training so far. So like it is the comparable question, but stock or whatever stock you want to put into it. But we'll go around here. Who should get the leadoff spot? I'll give it to the Nemo guy, Andrew.
I'm still leaving Nemo in the leadoff spot because even when he's bad, he's still seeing 5 to 6 pitches in AB. And that's the difference. Again, I'm all for putting Nemo, and I'm honestly putting Marcana at 1-2 because that's 12 pitches right then and there. These guys aren't going to go out and chase. They're going to work the pitch count. So then guess what? When you can go to a Marte, Lindor, Alonso after the fact, you're seeing a maybe 20th pitch of an inning because those guys have worked the top of the lineup to get. Yes, is Marte going to go when he gets on, can steal a base? Of course. But hey, maybe when Nemo gets on, you put Marte in the 2 spot, double stealer, second and third, nobody out. That's my thing with this. I would still leave Nemo. Even with Nemo not hitting, Nemo's still a productive player because he's going to work counts and drive pitch counts up. So I'm still leaving Nemo in the leadoff spot. Could we see Marte when Nemo's not playing, or maybe when Nemo just can't hit water if he fell out of a boat? Then you put Marte in the leadoff spot. But I still think Nemo, even when he struggles, brings value in the leadoff spot.
Can I rebuttal that real quick? Because then I'm going to step aside for a second, give my take on this really quick. I was an advocate of Nemo hitting leadoff no matter what, even after signing Marte. I really was. But I saw a very interesting take from someone recently that I kind of agree with. You just said how Nemo's going to see 5, 6, 7 pitches every at-bat, right? We know that. Obviously, tremendous leadoff hitter. How great would it be to have Starling Marte on first base because he hit leadoff and Nemo works those at-bats, 6, 7 pitches where Marte gets an opportunity to use that speed and steal bases. With Nemo hitting behind Marte the ability to get on base, and then a great at-bat, a long at-bat like that from Nemo, it's going to give Marte the ability to flex that speed that we've been speaking so highly of this entire stream and steal second base because of the great at-bat that Nemo is going to work. So the little devil's advocate, I don't think you could go wrong either way. I still probably want to put Nemo lead off, but I think it works no matter what, where if you have Marte leading off and he gets on first, Nemo's going to do what he does, and Marte is going to get a ton more stolen base opportunities. So.
All right. There's also the double leadoff hitter where you can
With
have
the
one
9
at
hole.
the top, one at the bottom.
Yeah.
That's another thing we can do. Anybody else want to add anything to this? And we'll add a do another question, then get to the
I would
predictions.
just say one thing they could consider, like you mentioned, a double leadoff. Maybe against lefties, they could have Marte Canha 1-2 and have Nemo bat ninth. And then against righties, you could have the Nemo Marte. And like we said, it's so interchangeable. I really don't think it's a big deal. I think the center field discussion is maybe a little more compelling, and those guys are probably going to – we'll see how that whole dynamic works out. If it really is going to impact the locker room at all, how much they really care. I think who bats 1 or 2, I really don't think it matters too much regardless. But like we said, there are so many table setters. Like there's a case to be made for Lindor bat second. You know, Mets fan, you point out the numbers when Alonso bats second. Well, he does there. So there's a case to be made for a lot of different guys that can go into that 2-hole. And maybe it could be a matchup thing. It could be something that is kind of fluid. Like we could see a lot of different tool hitters. But in a generic sense, I don't mind the Nemo Marte 1-2. It really doesn't matter to me, but it really could go either way.
Yeah, Alonso batting second was something that was like, okay, you don't really have as many table setters as you do now, so it's kind of tough to have him.
I do like Lindor
right now,
third, though.
but
I do
I
like
like Lindor third.
Those guys need to be 1-2. Nemo Marte need to be 1-2 in some kind of combination, whatever it is. I do like Lindor third.
I personally think, even though he has peaked like he has, I do still think he is the most balanced hitter out of all of them. And that's where I think it should be in the 3 spot. Personally, that's my opinion. Jesus Christ, D. Gordon, of course. But other than that, anybody else want to add anything on this one? And we can go to another viewer question. Ooh, we got buy or sell, everyone's favorite game. Okay. Bassitt will have a better season than Cole? Whoa, okay. Any Yankee fans watching this right now, prepare for some hurt feelings, even though we'll see. Who wants to take the tired take here? Anyone?
I'm selling.
Anyone?
As much as
Hard
I want to
sell.
buy,
Yeah, this is a hard
as much as
sell.
I want to troll Yankee fans, like, come on, man. It's Garrett Cole.
Yeah, Cole's gonna have a good year. This is crazy. Yeah, y'all just trolling over there.
Now, come playoffs, might be a different story.
Playoffs.
If they even make it.
No, he was inconsistent. He will have his bad outings, I think, Cole. He will have some. We'll
Yeah,
see if he has any blow up outings.
Initially, when the Yankees signed him, that was my one main thing, was that Cole, he does tend to leave that ball in the strike zone sometimes, and might get knocked around a little bit.
Go in his favor.
And then you're playing in Yankee Stadium, which is a bandbox, so it's like, but
And he had
No
Houston
sticky
spin
stuff.
rate.
oh no, what's happening now?
No, a little weak dribble at a second.
No, D. Gordon made a nice play.
No, he did. He fumbled the bag.
Yes,
Jeff
no,
was
he
on
made a
for
nice
him.
play.
He fumbled it. Okay.
Fumbled the bag. Jeff's like, just
But don't forget when McNeil got single off that bat, real quiet.
I would
Don't forget
again.
that
I
standard.
was hosting a show that you're also on,
Never
so
fail.
I was not paying attention.
not
I
paying
apologize. And also, it's spring training. Who cares?
Exactly.
Okay.
Doesn't matter.
Anyways,
we in
I
prediction
guess
mode.
we'll
or we
get
got
into
another
the
question?
predictions now, since we're kind of halfway through here. Best hitter for the Mets. Who will it be? Whatever you want to look at it. When you look at batting average or your weighted stats or your whatever you want to look at it, best hitter, overall hitter. Last year was probably Brandon Drury. We'll start with Hayden, best hitter.
Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious what I'm going to say, and I'm going to go with Pete Alonso. Obviously, last year put up more than satisfiable, all-star caliber numbers, and that was with a lineup where it was literally him and Nemo pretty much. I mean, I don't want to go basic and use RBIs as a stat, but the dude had 94 of them. I can only imagine what he's going to do with more guys on base, with more run support. Mets fan, I know you've advocated him to bat in the second hole. I would really like to see him bat in the second or third spot, most likely the third, because I want Alonso to get his reps in the first inning. That way, he's not leading off in the second inning and it's a solo home run. I'd love a solo home run, but I'd rather a 2 or 3 runner than a solo. So I got Alonso. I mean, I really think he's been looking much better. His walk rate has went up. His strikeout rate has gone down. He's been much better with that slider pitch, which really gave him some fair share of issues his rookie season and in 2020. So he's been looking better at that. I honestly think he is going to increase that average being basic. I think he is going to start getting on base more. He's starting to go for contact the other way, just an overall power hitter. And I believe he is an all-star caliber player. So I have Pete Alonso.
Okay. Best hitter, Elias. Who you got?
I'm actually going to go Brandon Nemo. He's always gotten on base at a really good rate, mainly from walking, but last year he hit for some decent average too. He has a little pop in that bat. I don't think I answered the last question, but I do expect him to be the leadoff hitter, and he has a success in that on the batting lineup. So yeah, Brandon Nemo, best hitter on the Mets.
All right. 5 points vids, best hitter on the Mets.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit you with my prediction, then I gotta bounce. It's always a pleasure. Sorry I can't stay for too long. But last year, I remember this. I said it would be Lindor. I was dead fucking wrong. He was not. I think he pressed a little bit. I think he felt the pressure. He wasn't in Cleveland anymore. He was in the big time. But I'm going to double down and say Lindor again because he has got to live up to his contract. And if he has another shit year like that, you're going to have to question, what's between his ears. But I think he'll be fine. I think this is the year where he's going to relax. He's like, all right, I'm used to this. I'm in New York. I'm making good money. Like I'm going to go out and have fun and play some baseball. I know that there are other capable players on this team, but they went out and got him protection in Escobar and Canha and even Marte up there at the top of the lineup. So there's going to be guys on base. There's going to be guys behind him. He has no excuse. So I say it's Lindor again, doubling down. I don't give a fuck. All right. Good to see y'all. Whenever you need me. Sorry I couldn't stay the whole time, but love y'all.
All right.
Let's go Mets. LFGM, baby.
All right. Good to have you.
All right. Take it easy.
All right, guys. 5 points vids links are in the description. Make sure to go check him out. Thank you to him for joining us. Andrew, best hitter.
I mean, I was going to say Pete Alonso, but he's looked like shit this spring. So I'm going to take this question as who's going to have the highest BA. And I'm going to go with the guy who almost won the batting title last year. I'm going to go Starling Martay. He's going to hit a lot of ground ball singles. Going to get them, he's going to run them out. So he's going to use them speed. He doesn't blow out his ACL or, knees or whatever. But I'm hoping he does. I'm knocking on some wood. So I'm going to say Starling Martay with his little weak singles. He's going to take what James McCann does, but he's going to have speed with it. And he's going to provide a little pop. So I'm going to go Starling Martay. Hitting about 307.
And he's also going to have talent. Cool. Frank, best hitter.
I was going to take Marte for the sake of diversity, and then somebody stole him. I mean, I never joined the franchise, so I don't know why he would steal a topic from me. But I'm going to say Marte. And also, like, if we could throw in stolen bases as, like, the, deciding factor. So, like, the hitting plus the stolen base, like, what he's going to do on the bases, that's all part of offense. So I'll also go Marte.
Okay. I'm going to go with 5 points vids, too. Lindor. This is not really an overreaction. This is an if. Lindor has looked fantastic. He has looked really good. His swing
looked good spring training last year.
He looked really good last year.
He did not look as good as he has done.
And think about it. Frank opened his mouth. So every time Frank opens his mouth, he comes back to bite him. So
listen,
you're welcome.
The disconnect from his swing that he had from the first 2 months, mainly, he still had it for the rest of the year. Yeah. It looks completely resolved. But
he had a strikeout today where he was on his knee. But other than that, it's been good.
Shit! I'm changing it. Okay, Luis Guillorme, guys.
Luis Guillorme.
He is going to look
great batting average.
Okay, anyways, I don't know if it's Eric Chavez. I don't know if Robbie Cano slipped him a needle.
Maybe.
But side by side to 2018, the swing looks identical from the strike zone. I can give you that visual if you want. But I'm currently I'm currently elbow deep into a video right now, so I apologize. He's destroying the baseball. If Lindor keeps this up, our offense is going to look good. It's the first year of his contract. As long as, he's not facing Jacob Degrom, because his swing path, his follow through, ground ball to the right side.
He had a ground ball
right
side
concern is
today.
Francisco Lindor. So,
bullpen.
Now we do have best pitcher, but
Yeah.
is it really?
Really? And if people want to get crazy, they can say Scherzer. Okay.
Get a little crazy.
Get a little crazy.
Get a little
Miguel,
nuts.
everyone's saying he's the next Jacob Degrom.
Not yet. Okay. Next one. Oh, God. All right. Best reliever out of the pen. This is a question mark. Let's not be crazy, even though, whatever. But best reliever, we'll start with Elias.
Yeah, I'm actually going to be sort of bold and go Trevor May here. He wasn't necessarily great last year, but he has good stuff. He's had really good years back in Minnesota. And a lot of times guys kind of take a year to adjust to the New York market. Kind of like what 5 Points said about Lindor pressing a bit and having his struggles his first year in New York. Trevor May wasn't that bad, but he did definitely have his struggles. A little more inconsistent. But if you get there out there consistently, he'll probably be the 8th inning guy, assuming you have that approach of a 8th inning, 7th inning, 8th inning closer, that kind of role. Obviously, they're going to be more stuff, but I like Trevor May to bounce back. I think he's going to have a really good year.
Good bounce back inning for Lugo. There we go. All right. Frank, best reliever.
I mean, I'm never gonna not pick him. I'm going down with the ship, so I'm taking Lugo. I'm taking Lugo. I didn't think he was going to go to his spring training game. They decided to do that. He looked better in the second inning than the first inning. If the outfielders could actually catch the ball, he would have had 2 scoreless innings. But you're never going to not. If Lugo is in the bullpen, you're never going to not get me to pick him. No matter what, I'm always going to stick with him. So I'll take Lugo.
This is their last chance to pick him here. It's the last time.
Last time, maybe.
Who knows? The last time.
Who knows?
You know he's going to be out of the pen for. He's going to be out for not the Phillies. It's going to be the Braves. The Braves are going to swipe him up and pair him with Colin McHugh, and they're going to destroy us. Hayden, best reliever.
I'm going to go with a little bit of an interesting take. I know this isn't necessarily fully confirmed, but I'm going to go with David Peterson. Obviously, what is going to happen is likely that David Peterson will be pushed in that bullpen role. And obviously, the Mets, they have no left-handed pitching in that bullpen that they could really rely on. And I guess I kind of echoed it before, and I'll echo it again. The Milwaukee Brewers put Burns and Woodruff in the bullpen to get acclimated and get those innings pitched up and, get the experience and their arms worked. And I think it's reasonable the Mets do that with David Peterson. Plus, there's really no spot for him down the line. McGill is obviously probably ahead of him in that rotation spot if that is available. And I think that short sample size is really going to help Peterson out. I think the biggest thing was we saw in 2020 how really good he was because he had that short sample size. He came out in 2021. Yeah, maybe he had a little bit of sophomore slump. I understand that. But I really think the shortened sample size is really going to help him out a lot.
Okay. Andrew, best reliever.
Mine was stolen. But guess what? I had a backup. And I'm going to go with the best reliever in the bullpen. The guy that gets the 9th inning. I'm going with Edwin Diaz. Because guess what? He's had a shit year. He's had a medium mid-year. This is the year he has a good year. Because that's just how relievers are. You have a shit one. You have a mid. Up, cold, down. This is the one he goes back and he actually looks decent and has a good year. I'll go with the trumpet, man. Again, relievers. Who knows? Hell, it could be Adam Ottavino. Who the hell knows? Again, with bullpen guys, you're throwing them at a goddamn dartboard. Somebody's going to go. Hell, it could be Josh Walker. Who the hell knows? So I'll go because I know who. I'll take your guy so you can talk about your breakout boy. I'm going Edwin Diaz.
Breakout boy?
Yeah.
I'm saving that for the video.
Exactly.
It's not who you think it is.
It totally is. I know exactly who it is.
Yeah, Edwin Diaz. Man's elite. Elite doesn't mean perfect, though. He's going to be a free agent after this season. We need him to lock down the 9th, and he really needs to prove that market. So I'd love for him to add an off-speed pitch, like I've said all the time. But right now, we need, if Diaz, ever gets flustered, we can hire like Tony Robbins to maybe give him the confidence. But that's how we'll get over the 4th luxury tax. We'll just, these guys will have a motivational speaker in the dugout. Was Lindor doing that for a little bit? He was doing that for a little bit, and then Baez came to town, and it all just went to hell. Just sign a motivational speaker. That's about it. I can't wait for Diaz to go like 22 for 22 in saves, and then he'll blow one, and then Tony will just be like, "I told you, this guy fucking sucks, man. I can hit one off of this guy drunk off my ass with one hand tied behind my back." Okay, it's going to be a generational moment, folks. But other than that, yeah, Edwin Diaz, he's the best reliever in the pen. Even if you don't agree with it, that's your problem. Go fuck yourself. Anyways, who will be the MVP of the Mets? Last year, who was it? Aaron Loop? Can we say that?
Yeah, Loop.
Aaron Loop, maybe?
Yeah. Stroman, maybe, if you don't want to
Stroman.
Stroman.
Alonso. If you want
Jose
to.
Perez.
Alonso. Nemo.
Brandon Drury.
Brandon Drury. Patrick
Bryant.
Mazeika. MVPs this year. Frank, we'll start with you.
How about Max Scherzer? Because it's like we know what Degrom does, but I mean, you don't put soccer spring training, but just knowing Scherzer, this guy's a different animal. Like you see, this guy, he'll go like I think he was gonna go like 7 innings on Saturday or something like that.
Oh, he's going 100 pitches. Yeah,
I mean, the guy is just crazy. So I just think there's gonna be some times like we know what Jake does. We expect Jake to be good, but it's like having that second guy that you know is also going to be really good, and he's going to go deep into games, and especially if the Mets do make the playoffs. Scherzer went on the short rest, and he came out of the bullpen with the Nationals, won it all. He just does so many different things, and we know 2015 pitching is so important that I think I'm going Max Scherzer.
Okay. Hayden, MVP of the Mets. Who will it be?
I'm going to go Jacob Degrom. I think if Degrom obviously stays healthy, he realistically is the best player on this team. Keep in mind, when we saw his first half, he was making the case for the National League MVP. Degrom has looked phenomenal so far in his 2 spring training starts. We know that he is really trying to avoid those injuries and the concern of that. We know that he's trying to use the secondary pitches. The curveball is something that I think could be big. Maybe chill out with the fastball and the high velocity, which was the big thing for him. Put less pressure on your forearm. But overall, I mean, he's elite. He's immaculate. There's really no reason for me to come on here and say, oh, he will strike out the side in the first inning. He will give you 7 innings of baseball. Obviously, he won't be hitting, so I think that is a benefit for him. Obviously, he's a great hitter to an extent, but I think that'll benefit him so he could focus just so on pitching. And he even stated that he felt a lot of the injuries last year was from pitching. So I have DeGrom. I mean, I could, to an extent, triple crown would be what? Wins, ERA, and strikeouts, correct?
He won't get the wins.
Yeah, I mean,
wins
I think would really be the killer. I mean, ERA and strikeouts, we've seen it before. Wins, who knows? Maybe if he gets run support, it's possible. Keep in mind, you have some guys like Urias. So we'll have to see. As of right now, I think DeGrom is your 2022 New York Mets MVP.
Okay. Elias, MVP of the Mets.
I'm going to go Francisco Lindor. Last year, he was really bad at hitting and played really good defense. This year, I expect him to be a lot better at hitting and keep up that elite defense. He's the captain of our infield defense. He helps the pitchers out really well. You watch the broadcast. He's kind of, helping them calm down, all that good stuff. As long as he doesn't kill anybody, talking about animals or whatnot, I think he's going to have a great year, and I look forward to seeing him. Team MVP.
D. Gordon can go fuck himself.
Fuck this guy. I hate this guy.
What do you do?
Lindor just hit like a fucking piss missile, and D. Gordon just makes a diving catch in the shift.
Hard hit ball for Lindor. I mean, narrative
What
stay.
position is
Okay.
Gordon playing?
Missile. Fucking D. Gordon sliding.
Piss
him.
missile. D. Gordon's a dick. Okay.
He used steroids and was still tiny,
Andrew.
which I always found really funny.
Yeah, we're gonna keep my narrative going because this is a career arc of a familiar switch hitting Puerto Rican superstar. Sucked year 1, both hit 20 homers year 1, both Gold Glove caliber. Then the next year they're in the MVP conversations. Francisco Lindor. It is the Beltran arc again. Switch hitting Puerto Rican, leader of this team, gonna go off 30 doubles, 30 homers, 270 average. If you know the batting average, guys, WRC plus back in the 130 areas. And he's not just going to be the Mets in the conversation for Mets MVP. he will be in consideration for the National League MVP.
Okay. I like it. 4 home runs in spring training. Can't argue with that.
A lot.
I mean,
That's
Jacob
more
DeGrom.
than Mike Trout combined. That's more
I think I
than
saw Moises Alou do it one time.
Jacob DeGrom, best player on the team, hands down. I may have
He's
spoiled the
injury-prone,
video.
though.
Sorry.
But he's injury-prone.
But he's injury prone. He did quit on his team last year. So
Yeah, that's true.
he's healthy. He's dominant. End of story. Don't really need to say anything else. He is the greatest I have ever seen, and he gets my full attention every time that he's on the mound.
Didn't think you.
Next up, we got one that could be a little difficult. Considering the age of this team, we'll go to breakout candidates. We'll start with Elias. You got anybody that you want to say is a breakout guy?
Yes, so in my notes, I actually put a parentheses because it's a sort of breakout, and that's Dom Smith. He's kind of broken out before, but that was a very small sample size. He's kind of been on this arc of, terrible bust, terrible prospect, goes up, good bench bat, plays like an elite player, 22 falls off cliff. It turns out he had a torn labrum or partially torn labrum, and the whole team didn't hit. So seeing him in spring training, hopefully he'll get some decent at bat at DH or first base, not left field, please. I think Dom can be a really good player. I don't think he's gonna be the MVP like player he was in 2020 in that small sample size, but I think he could be a really good role player for this team. Nice left-handed bat off the bench who can occasionally get some starts out in first base and DH.
There's Trevor, man.
Fortnite boys in. There we go.
Hell yeah.
And he got CD's Escobar to ground. Extend him. Bring him back next year. Okay. Hayden, breakout candidate. Do you have anybody?
Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily know if you want to say he's a breakout candidate. I mean, he's been with this team for 6 years, but I'm going to do like Elias and put it around parentheses. And I'm going to kind of say Brandon Nemo just because he's been in the Mets organization for 6 years. He's only had one season where he's played 100-plus games. Otherwise, we've seen 40, 66. He's never really been healthy for most of a full season. So I'm really hoping that he doesn't have any neck issues or hamstring issues or whatever this season, fingers crossed, and he can remain fully healthy. So with that, if he is healthy, the sample size we've seen him on the field is dominant, is definitely top tier. If he can be good defensively, obviously that could really help out his case. So I have Brandon Nemo.
Fucking Frank,
chill the fuck out.
Weirdo.
What I missed, jeez.
All right, Frank, breakout candidate.
Hey, I know we know what Frank's is going to be Michelle. Just say Michelle if you want to say it. Just say it. Breakout. Take Steve Jobs' job. Just do it.
No, I mean, it's tough because, like you're saying, with the age and a lot of these guys have been in the league for a few years. So I'm going to stick with Mark Vientos. I feel like at some point he is going to be on this roster. And I said earlier in I forget which one it was, but that he's going to take Cano's job. I'm going to stick with that because Cano is definitely not going to focus right now with what he's doing. So I definitely still see Vientos coming into the roster and taking his job.
Oh my, he's using that slider, folks.
Oh.
Nice.
You guys are really liking this interview a little too much.
Dude, fuck yeah, dude.
Not as much like Wayne right now. Yeah.
Fuck this Wayne right now.
Dude, how tall is this chick? I mean, I guess she's standing on a stick. She's almost towering over Cano. How tall is this chick?
Sue Bird out here. Okay. Who are we missing here? Because
That's what you're trying to get.
I haven't gone, and I guess
We
I'll take the bait.
Andrew
because
Acevedo.
He
What do you
was
got?
on my thing, and of course this old man who always seems to just read my mind and take everything I say. I thought this man would have been said. And he has had a good spring, and he is slowly turning. I'm not full on Seth Rollins steel chairing the Tyler McGill sucks chant. Still holding on that, but it's the only guy of age is Tyler McGill. If Walker sucks, I mean, yeah, he got lucky today. A couple of good scoreless innings, batted ball luck, whatever. McGill will be in that fifth spot by.
How is he lucky?
Get ready. Get ready. Get
I'll go
ready.
by
It's
May.
not gonna last forever.
I'm going to go
Yusei
May
Kikuchi's better.
14th. I'll go May 14th. Tyler McGill takes over Taiwan Walker's spot. Walker maybe just gets DFA'd or
He'll
just
take
goes.
Carrasco's spot. He'll take
No,
Carrasco.
Carrasco's he's better than Carrasco. Carrasco clears Walker. And yeah, so I'll go Tyler McGill, not Cylor McGill. We're not doing that crap. Tyler McGill.
Okay. Frank, did I get your
Yeah,
breakout candidate?
Yeah, you stole mine.
He said,
Vientos.
he said Vientos.
Michelle. Oh my god.
He said, and he also said
Jesus
Michelle breaking out and
Christ.
taking Gelder's job.
I hope so.
Okay, wait for the video. That's all I got to say. Who will not be on the Mets roster at the end of the season? Yeah. We'll go
I'll go
back
first.
to Andrew so Frank doesn't steal your answer again. Protection.
I mean,
protection.
I don't think I have enough time to just get rid of everybody on the bus. But I'll stay one because it involves Mark Vientos, and that's JD Davis. So JD Davis needs to get the hell off this team because he's holding Mark Vientos' spot. Younger, cheaper, and I think he's got way more upside than JD Davis. So once JD is gone, you see Mark Vientos, and Mark Vientos takes his job over, and no one would ever wonder who the hell was JD Davis because Mark Vientos is fucking balling.
The George Springer swing. Hayden, who won't be on the roster at the end of the year?
Sorry about that. It's kind of tough. I mean, in terms of how things pan out at the trade deadline, something could happen. I mean, maybe it's boring, but I think Mets fans would probably give me a round of applause, and everyone wants him to stay in Florida, is Robinson Cano. I mean, I don't really know what the New York Mets are going to do with Cano. I made a video on him.
Have him play first base and bat third. Like they're doing.
Yep.
I made a video on Cano a while ago. Did very well, so I'm guessing that's a very hot topic. I mean, it seems buying him out and giving him his money is kind of out of the books right now since we're so close to the season. But hey, anything can happen. I guess you DH him, but I mean, is the power still there? I mean, he's obviously a victim of ageism. He's getting up there in age, so I mean, you're really not going to put him out at second base. I think defensively, he's not really. I mean, I guess he could still be there to an extent, but I'd rather McNeil or Escobar playing second over him. I would flip my chair if he played first or third base, and I would say this is bullshit. That would be horrible. If he played if he played first, second, or third, I think that'd be foolish. It's DH, bench, or sayonara. So I would say maybe they could put him in a package at the deadline, depending how things are going. I couldn't tell you. I believe the deadline's like July 17th, or I think they moved the day, but. Maybe if how some things are going, maybe if they need an arm, they could put him in a package. It's really all I got. He stands out.
One more suspension. That's all we need.
One more suspension,
guys.
or just hey, he's friends.
We're
with
66% of the way there, guys.
Just leave him with what the hell?
Frank, who won't be on this roster?
I'll take the easy one. Sean Reed Foley. He's out of options. I mean, I don't know. They'll give him some opportunities if he doesn't do well, and there is a pitcher in the minor leagues that's pitching well. Maybe they get called up over him, or when somebody's ready to go, like I don't know if Lucchese gets healthy at some point, or if anyone it has to come up. I guess. I mean, Sean Reed Foley be the guy that goes down. So that's my guess.
How many options can you? How many times could you give a player an option? 5.
5, but Sean Reed Foley's out of
now.
options.
And now you could only have 13 pitchers on your staff, correct?
Certain deadline.
And they're gonna have to cool it with some of these, AAA pitchers they keep calling up and sending down.
We'll see.
Right.
New front office, so we'll see how they do it. So.
Yep.
Elias, who won't be here?
Yeah, he's my answer. It's kind of bold, but I'm gonna go Robinson Cano.
I hope so.
If he's here and his team really wants to win and they need to clear that roster spot by the trade deadline, you need to bring in a great player to make that World Series run. And you got this bum making a shit ton of money in the way to take up a roster spot. You just got to bite the bullet and get rid of him. Hopefully someone slips something in his drink. Hopefully he just retires or something. I don't know what it's going to take, but do I think it's going to happen? Not really necessarily. I'm kind of manifesting it. Do I think it's a possibility? I really do. I think he's done.
Could you allow him to just rot in the minor leagues? Is there a possibility, like, just
He'd have to clear,
He
he has to clear waivers. You'd put him on unconditional waivers, and if nobody
Well,
claims
nobody's
him,
gonna claim him.
exactly, nobody gonna claim
You
him. So
can't-
that's the
you
only, that's
can't
the
doesn't
only
he
waive
have
way.
to agree to
right?
be outrighted to AAA?
I just don't want him taking a roster spot. He can take his $20 million. I don't give
Yeah,
a
I'll
shit.
just
But
I've
Tony
been
Yacht.
saying.
Can-
How long
Can we
have I
put
been
him on the
saying
Phantom DL to
Hey,
make up
Paul
some
Quinn.
injuries?
I've been saying that all offseason, but they haven't done it. They're trying every way to get this guy in the line. I've just been saying
They're
Jet
probably trying
Lowry,
to build
he's
up his
torn it.
value so some team's dumb enough to trade for him.
Yeah, Jacoby Ellsbury injury, put him on the couch. See you. It's so easy, and they won't do it.
How
I
many
just
more
don't know
years
why.
does he have?
like they
2.
did with Kemba Walker. The Knicks did with Kemba
Brody
Walker.
Van Wagenen, ladies and
Because
gentlemen.
Frank had to bully him out of the state.
Had to bully him out of the league.
Yeah, I'll go with Andrew with JD Davis. I just don't think there's really a spot for him
Don't tell
with all
me
the
Kemba
options we
will.
have at third base. Even though with the DH there, I think there's a better direction they can go in with Dom Smith or whenever you bring up Mark Vientos, who would probably replace JD Davis, and then also Cano's there. Sadly, as for JD as a player, he's just too like Joey Gallo like for my liking. It's just like whiff or barrel. The Yankees have a guy, they have guys around him that they can protect a hitter like that. We don't. So, yeah, I think JD's the odd man out here. I think he's a good hitter overall, but like, I think it's pretty easy to say goodbye to him if you're trying to move forward and maybe bring some younger guys in here.
My only issue is that, like, I feel like if they were going to have Cano anyway, they should have just done it in the offseason. Because, like we said, you clear up a roster spot if you want, even if you want to bring back Conforto or if all those other hitters that were available, like we talked about, Jock Peterson, Kyle Schwarber, whoever, just name a name.
Yeah.
And like, I just don't know. It would be dumb to do it now. Like, if you were going to do it, you should have already done it. That was my point.
At the
Are
deadline.
you allowed
Hey,
to?
listen.
I think you are, because I'm pretty sure they did this with Starling Castro. But are you allowed to, like, while a suspension is still like intact, are you allowed to do anything with them transactionally?
No,
You're
they go
not?
to the commissioners. They go to the
What
commissioners.
happened
What
to
was-
Starling Castro again?
Yeah,
I think wasn't
Starling
he domestic
Cat-
violence?
yeah,
he's
he
the
did
best player.
something.
Well,
Yeah.
All the guys who do that shit and PEDs go on the commissioner's list and they just stay
Yeah.
there. It's like,
But
Brett
like he's
Bauer,
still on contract.
Still
Like
on
Starling Castro was on a 1-year deal, so
he wasn't on, yeah. So
Mhm.
that's different.
yeah, I don't know.
But like Trevor Bauer's still
I
getting
guess,
paid.
you
He's
know-
not
And
suspended,
also,
but
I think the reason why the Mets can't, like we were talking about, send him down. Whatever. I feel like I don't know.
yeah.
you can't.
I-
You have
I
to.
feel like the contract looks
Yeah,
like you.
doesn't he have to agree to be outrated AAA? Like that's what happened with Matt Harvey back in 2018.
And then you can just DFA him. Like in that case, you just DFA him. And then again, it's
Yeah.
still unconditional waivers.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to claim them. And then you do whatever the hell you want.
And you can't release him because you still have to pay the contract.
You're not.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're not going to do
Whether it's
anything
now
with
or
that
later.
money. Like you're not going to do any. Like the money is still dead. It's dead.
You can just
but,
get him
like,
off.
I
Of,
just
Oh, it's
Yeah.
fine.
at this point,
Yeah.
I just don't want him taking a.
And then he's
roster
going to
spot.
become a free agent. The Dodgers are going to sign him, and he's going to be elite.
The Braves will sign him, and he'll be elite. Let's get into some controversial topics. Let's go with who's the most underrated player on the Mets roster. I think this is 9, right?
I don't know.
Nope.
Can't count.
10. There we go. Underrated player on the Mets roster.
Well, I
Andrew,
really like
give
this
it to me.
comment.
So I'll save the generic answer for somebody else to go with. So I'll go with my boys, and that's one of the lefties and their bullpen. That's Alex Claudio. You're starting to see him pitch a few times. Funky. I love how Frank has said, like, oh, I'm terrified if Bryce Harper or Juan Soto. I mean, yeah, I'm shitting my pants anyway. And yeah, Aaron Loop had a great year, but Aaron Loop and Alex Claudio are very similar. I'm not saying the same stuff, obviously. Harder sinker with Aaron Loop, but both have that funky, deceptive look against lefties. Don't use him against the righty, but, the 3-batter minimum crap. Hopefully he does his job. 2 outs, Harper's up. He did his job. You don't got to worry about that. But he can neutralize lefties. That's what he gets paid for. Yeah, had a rough year last year, but look at the rest of his career. He's been a productive left-handed reliever. He goes to Anaheim, where pitchers, Anaheim's been this great pitching team, right? They've been in the playoffs because they have all this great pitching.
Good
You
job,
put-
Billy Epler.
Yeah, good job. Hey, that was more Artie Moreno, but But yeah, give me Claudio. Again, I'll leave the obvious answer for somebody else. But Alex Claudio, I'll even throw in my guy Josh Walker. They're both going to be elite.
Okay. Hayden, most underrated player on the roster.
Yeah, I mean, no one really. I guess there's a fair amount of guys to say, but I'm just gonna go basic. I'll just say Canha.
Okay. Frank, underrated player.
Well,
That's
you already know my choice. It's going to be Eduardo Escobar. Met fans aren't talking about him. He's not getting good off-season grades. I just think that he's just going to be a guy that, like, again, you didn't pay him too much. You didn't have too high expectations. But I hope that we will look at this contract like the way we do Asdrubal Cabrera, where we didn't expect much out of him. He did a good job. He lived up to the contract, and that was it. He didn't make any all-star teams, but you know what? He helped the team, have a winning record. And that's all I ask out of him.
Okay.
Because I don't know what
Cabrera's
Cabrera's contract
all right.
was. It had to be similar.
It was $7 million for 2 years.
Was it? Okay, yeah, so it's pretty close.
Who did he replace? I forget. Was it Murphy? Was it technically supposed to be Murphy when he replaced him in 2016?
Right, it was Tejada in that because he played short. He was playing
Yeah.
the first time he played short.
Yeah, he played short the first year, the second year, like the third year, something like that.
The breakout star is back on the TV, so there you go.
Stop it.
Can we please get to 2 hours, people? Okay.
Steve Gelb's got to go, man.
Dude, Elb's got to go, dude. Jesus.
Elias, underrated.
Yeah, I really said Canha, but I'll switch it up a bit. I'll go Chasen Shreve. Super solid lefty out of the bullpen. Never understood letting him go in the first place. He's easily the best left-handed reliever we have.
Brody guy.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
that's only valid reason.
No, actually, yeah. So I'm really glad they brought him back. I'm not too sure how he did in Pittsburgh last year, but if he did bad, just blame it on the Pirates. I'm happy to have him back.
Dude, Wayne Kirby's arm is the size of Melissa. His arms are the same size. Holy shit, he's a big boy.
All right. Well, this guy answered for me. Listen, I know everyone has middle school drama about this guy because the poopy head blocked him. But if he's healthy, this bullpen is in really good shape in the middle. And he's been a great high leverage reliever in a limited experience. He's got great stuff. I think every Mets fan is sleeping on this bullpen overall. And that starts with Drew Smith. So -10 run value on the fastball. So he's going to have a great year. Analytics only, unlucky. Great analytics and great savant page. I'm just doing every single cliche that you idiots think that.
I can just hear it now. Drew Smith coming in top 9 in CBP. Upsticks Nicholas Castellanos. It's a drive to left. Drew Smith threw a cutter, and Nicholas Castellanos has walked.
Edwin Diaz just pointed to a Juan Soto home run.
What?
Edwin Diaz literally pointed up as Juan Soto hit a home run. Oh my God.
Okay.
He's the guy who's not going to make it to the end of the year.
Giving a home run to Juan Soto is one thing.
All right, so move
Stop pointing.
Stop.
Let's
pointing.
see. Let's see this shit. I just haven't seen it as right now.
Yo, can you guys put the game back on in the other
It
stream
was
yard?
destroying my computer.
It was
It's almost over.
It's always the same one. It's always this little fly ball to left. He's like, oh, that goes.
Oh, he shows up right. Edwin Diaz.
Wait a minute.
Another Juan Soto.
Did he get unlucky?
Holy shit, this guy's.
No, actually. No, it was his fault. Okay.
Oh, look at that timing. Wow.
Oh,
But hey,
here he
it's
is.
Juan Soto, the greatest hitter we've ever seen. It's also
Just
spring
don't
training.
point
Who
up.
cares?
Just don't point exactly. Stop pointing.
Don't
Put your
point.
fucking hand
I'm
down.
more
dude.
mad
You
about
want me to
the
run out to the field and
Yes.
What was
stand down?
what was the exit velo on that one? What was the launch
Probably a good
angle? Oh, it was
Probably
only
a
a
good one.
24-degree launch angle. Oh, it's so lucky.
Gonna win his
Diaz
ball now.
stand.
Did I call it? Did I call it? Did I call it? I got it. I got it. Come on.
I mean,
Oh,
I
God.
for the game.
All right. Most underrated player on the roster, Tony.
Most overrated or underrated?
Underrated.
I wish we were doing overrated right
That's
now. That
next.
would have been divine intervention. Most underrated. I think I think Dom Smith has fallen off with a lot of people lately. I mean, he had a rough year last year, but 2020, the guy got some MVP votes. 2019, 89 games. He did.
He did.
He did. I mean,
Conforto did it.
I was not a huge Dom Smith guy when he first came up. I thought he was a total bust. He really proved some things in 2019, even though it was short. 2020 was great. Last year, I think, was an aberration for him. I think he's going to come back and really take a stranglehold on the DH spot and get some first base starts too.
Diaz, you go to the 8th. Kimbrel coming in the 9th.
Oh my god!
Well, no, he's pitching in the
Okay.
eighth. He's not allowed to pitch in the 8th inning.
Like, in fact, why is he
Okay.
pitching the fucking 8th inning?
Have we gotten everybody?
Yeah, I think we got everybody.
Yeah, but what about Maria
All right,
Gomez?
let's get to the tired takes, folks. Overrated. Elias.
Oh my God, Diaz! What are you doing? This guy right
What do you
here.
do now?
Oh, this guy. Oh, why? Why?
What is
I
he
have the
doing
game on.
now?
What is he doing?
Is it Lane Thomas again? Let's see.
This guy right here, man.
What happened? What did he
He's
do?
gonna give.
He's gonna give him Frank a fucking heart attack.
He's so stressful, man.
It's always when I'm not
Oh my-
watching.
It's a fucking, oh my! I'm thinking this guy gave him a. Oh my god! What the fuck was he doing? What the
What did he
fuck
do?
was that? What?
Look,
the-
just
Oh.
threw it at his ass.
No, it gets worse. No, it gets worse.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
This is why we have PFPs, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, I get it now.
Diaz,
Oh, stop! Oh my
Christ.
god!
I need to see it still. I have the game day open.
What is Polka doing? He's like, nope, fuck it. Let it go to
Oh
it.
Oh,
You say he just slang that thing like sideways?
He threw that shit
What
over
is
there.
that
Like,
for?
I need to see it.
They threw
Oh
a
my
slider
God.
to him.
I'm sending out an all-time tweet right now.
oh
He's so
my
bad.
god.
He's so bad.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, I'd take Scott Schoenweiss over Edwin Diaz.
All right. Most
Should we get back to
overrated
topics?
player, Elias.
I'm gonna pass it off to Tony for this one. I need to hear what he has to say.
Go ahead. Snore, snore, snore. Give me something creative. At least give me something creative.
I think the baby crying was pretty creative.
Let's put it this way. If Edwin Diaz, Adolf Hitler, and Vladimir Putin were in the same room and I had a gun with 2 bullets, I'd shoot Edwin Diaz twice.
No, what you do is line them
That's
all.
okay.
Hold
That's an
on.
office reference.
Line them all
That-
up, and then you shoot
okay.
by the neck so it goes strength.
That's an office reference. So that was good. I'll give
Dude,
you that.
Edwin
Yeah,
Diaz is
okay.
the most overrated player on this team. I mean, come on.
As he walks
What's
another
wrong
batter
with
with 4
this guy's
pitches.
brutal.
God
If this guy ruins
damn
another
it.
season for this team, man, I'm going to lose my crap. I'm going to lose my shit.
He's a free agent after this year.
I'm
so-
talking about this year, okay? If
He's a
he
free agent
blows
after
it
this
again
year.
this year, I'm going to lose my shit. If you're elite, then go out and convert the saves. Like, don't have to be only a 3-batter pitcher, only in the 9th inning. That doesn't make you elite. Elite means you can pitch and get guys out. It doesn't, regardless of the timing. I'm just
like Taiwan Walker gets
guy's
guys now.
brutal. He's
Did
so
All right.
Taiwan Walker give a home run to Juan Soto? He's faced him 4 times already. Has he given a home run to Juan Soto in the spring?
Yeah, I'm sure we're gonna have the home run topic about Taiwan
Taiwan
Walker.
Walker.
Like
We
the
will,
second-
but not
the
yet.
Second half.
He's healthy now.
The second half.
He's healthy. Why are we talking about last year? We're talking
No
about this
one
year.
gives a shit about his health. He's not that good. Like seriously, he's not that good.
Do we have the clip
Frank,
of
who's
Carson
your
hyping
overrated
up the
player?
signing when we started him? When we signed him?
Yeah, I got it on my phone, but
We'll have to
Yeah,
add that
no.
to the-
No. You heard what I said about him, and he refuses to use it. So, you heard what I said about him. He
but why
refuses
is
to
he's
use
not
it.
good? Like, but can he be good or there's
Because
no
he's
chance?
dumb.
Can-
He's dumb. He's an idiot.
Oh, so you're mad at a guy being dumb? How about
I mean, he has a crypto punk for his Twitter profile pics.
What happened?
Kind of dumb in my
what is
book.
there a better chance of happening?
Yes, I get mad at people for
No, I
being
have a
dumb. I
question.
get mad
What's
at
the
you all
better
the
chance
time.
happening? Taiwan Walker stops throwing four-seam fastballs, or Michael Conforto drops a bunt down third base line. What's a better chance of happening?
All right, well, Michael
Who's the
Conforto's
real
unsigned
dummy?
now because he's got a bad batting average.
Who's the real dummy?
And a bad shoulder.
Yeah.
You know who the real dummy is?
bad agent.
People that actually think Taiwan Walker is a sustainable pitcher. All right. Hayden, overrated. Go.
Well, I guess I'm gonna have to say Edwin Diaz also. That was my plan. Yeah, I mean, listen, I can care less about a home run to Juan Soto, but with the trumpets, oh sugar, oh elite closer, oh we love you, oh we're supposed to get 47, whatever it was, saves out of him. Yeah, he's very consistent. He'll go off for 5 innings dominant, and then he'll look like complete crap for 5 other innings. His command of the strike zone won't be there. His fastball and slider will not be connecting with McCann, Nito, or whoever the heck is behind home plate. He'll be hitting batters, throwing 20 feet off the strike zone. Like Tony said, I mean, he can only pitch in the 9th inning, or else, it's a whole different ball game. I don't know why, but that seems to be the case for Diaz. I'm going to go Edwin Diaz.
All right. Andrew, most overrated.
I mean, yeah, we all knew most of these guys were going to go, so I'm going to go piss off Frank because I love pissing off Frank. It's Eddie Escobar. He only brings value with runners in scoring position. This guy sucks. Literally in any other aspect of this game, he sucks. If he drives in runs, that's what we want him to do. He does nothing. All he homer, an occasional solo shot, which is cool. I like an occasional solo shot. But all I need that guy to do is hit with runners in scoring position. If he does that, cool. But he ain't going to bring anything else. Offensively, he's mid-defensively. He's better than J.D. Davis. That's solid.
Not
That's
saying
solid.
much.
I mean, he's a pretty good MLB to show card. There are better. Mark Canha's a better MLB to show card. But, yeah, it's Eddie Escobar because legit, I couldn't figure out anyone else because we knew where these guys were going to go. He's going to take mine. So I said, you know what? I'm going to take a chance just to take a shot at Frank. So I'm going to go Eddie Escobar.
I don't like what this show has become. I'm going to tell you right now. This is just spite deals after spite deals after spite deals. Give me some insight. Frank, overrated?
Carlos Carrasco. I think this guy is penciling to be our number 4. I have zero confidence in him. I just don't see it anymore. I don't know.
Oh my God.
Last year was really bad. Spring training first start. Back to giving up bombs. So he hasn't shown me anything different yet, so we'll see. But even as of right now, he's penciling to be number 4. We'll see.
Even starting 9 is trolling Edwin Diaz right now.
I gotta see the clip still. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh God.
The home run?
No, he gave up a fucking.
Neither
He gave up a
the
miss.
error or the home run.
He gave up a miss.
Oh, they deleted it.
The Mets are batting now.
I know Mets
It's-
Twitter is fucking.
it's Juan
disappointing right
Soto.
now.
I don't know if you're
Because
gonna
Mets Twitter ain't going to
Oh.
talk about that shit except these guys. This is Metro and maybe Aiden. Mets
Oh, I
Twitter's like,
see
no,
Tony's
that's not
tweet. Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
Tony's got
retweeting
Twitter.
it,
There's no one.
and I'm retweeting it.
All right.
What's his name? The guy with
Anyways.
the alien, Max Scherzer Stan account, Real Green Man, even tweeted about it.
No idea.
Has he
Andrew,
ever
what do
given
you-
up?
Andrew,
Has he
what
ever
do you
given up
make-
a home run
what
in
do you
spring
make of
training?
Edwin Diaz?
He's Diaz. What he is. He's not Josh Hader.
Has
He's
he
not
given
Aaron
up a
Highland. He's
homer
the
in
middle.
spring training before?
What he is. You're going to have nights he's going to look great. He's going to have
Why
nights he
is
looks like
moving up,
shit.
though?
That's what happens.
Oh
That's
my
illegal.
God! What's the fucking pointing?
Dude,
The
and
pointing
it's-
is annoying.
it's
That's gotta
hard,
go.
but-
The
That's
point
gotta
really
fucking
is me
go.
off.
Welcome
you
back,
really-
Hansel Robles.
Okay, do you really trust this guy? Even if he converted 35 out of 35 saves this regular season, which I know you don't value saves, Mets fan, but let's just say he did. Do you really still have faith in this guy when the bright lights are on in October and a cold night to get 3 outs against the Dodgers lineup or against, say, the Braves lineup in the 9th inning? Do you really believe that? With a 1-run lead? Tell me.
Yes,
Wow.
absolutely.
Wow. I'd be shitting
Absolutely.
my pants. I would literally need Pampers pull-ups because there is no shot I am trusting Edwin Diaz in a big game ever. He can't even get it in May. Why will he do it in October when it's 40 degrees out?
I don't know, man, but all I can say is the tears do taste good. I'm going to tell you right now. They taste good.
Oh yeah.
Most overrated
in
player.
third place.
I think I've already hinted this already. Taiwan Walker. I can't do this anymore. He's a number 5 starter at best, who has the greatest batted ball luck known to man. Okay, it has absolutely nothing to do with the workload or the effectiveness of his pitches in the second half. Everything was the same. Okay, he lived and died by the fly ball, and when you do, they're eventually going to go over the fence. So 49.6% fly ball rate in that first half, all-star first half. And Mets fans are telling me that second half drop wasn't predictable. I mean, listen, on this show last year, I said, yeah, I don't care. I don't give a shit. If he can't take the heat, can't take the heat. Too bad. That's it. That's his problem. On this show last year,
I think
said
Taiwan Walker is a great pitcher.
and splitter were a great mix, but he refuses to do that. So, and he uses his fastball, which is absolutely useless. So, it's going to be the same shit as last year if he keeps using that fastball. So he has no sustainable value whatsoever because it's 100% his fault. Dude, can you seriously, thank you. All right. Get rid of the fastball. It's enough already. That's all I got to say. Anything else we can say on this one, and we'll go into our last 2 topics.
Wait, can I give my pick real quick?
Go ahead.
All right.
Oh, go ahead.
I had to hear Tony's spiel first. All right.
Oh yeah, you passed up. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna go JD Davis. He is to me the definition of replaceable. I had fans telling me last year, "Oh no, we can't get rid of JD Davis. You know, he's so good." Outside of hitting Patrick Corbin well, which everyone does nowadays, and being best friends with Dom Smith, what does this guy do that someone who makes a whole lot less and can actually play defense can do? Like, I know it's a great story. We got him for nothing, but at this point, he doesn't have a spot in the field. He's absolutely useless at both positions that he plays. Maybe you put him at first base, but we have like 5 guys in this roster who play first base. I think JD Davis is gone after this year.
Okay, second to last question. If anybody else wants to add anything, because this is probably gonna be the most heated one. So let it all out now.
Edwin Diaz
Frank?
sucks.
You want to come on?
What's up? For the most overrated, or
You want to test me? Let's go.
We're talking about the overrated or who has the most improved?
Overrated.
I did mine. Already.
Overrated.
I said correct.
You said yours already, but I'm just saying. Any extra notes on Taiwan Walker? Anything you want to challenge me on?
Great pitcher.
No, I'm not challenging you on anything.
You sure?
You're always
Okay.
right. You're always right. So
What changed from signing him
Finally,
last?
Jesus Christ.
What changed from signing him last year? Because that clip we have, you really liked the signing at first.
I literally said that his sinker and splitter were a great mix, and that's why I wanted him as a versatile type player. And now he just wants to be a strikeout guy throwing a fastball that is garbage.
Okay.
That's not my fault. I'm sorry. I'm not the one throwing the ball. So
Is that McCann's fault though for calling the fastball?
I'm sure it is. Okay.
Which
Mets player has the most to prove in 2021? We had a lot of underperforming last year. So there's a lot of choices. Andrew Acevedo. Who's got the most to prove?
This is an easy answer. It is the guy who I'm supposedly is going to be better. The best second baseman was an all-star a couple years ago. Now he just can't hit the ball. He's hitting decent spring, isn't that? Saw a little blue pitch going the other way. Looking more like an alive squirrel. But it's Jeff McNeil. If he continues to, he hasn't, I'll give him this. He's putting his big boy pants on in spring. He's hitting line drives, getting caught. He's not slamming his helmet, not dropping F-bombs. Usually we got about 7 F-bombs a week. Haven't gotten to that stage yet, but the games don't matter now. So now I think hopefully he's growing up. These games don't mean anything. When we get into April, when the games matter, we'll see if that continues. The guy with the most pressure is Jeff McNeil, because everybody was like, hey, was he on the market? Were the Mets shopping? Were the Mets don't? They're going to keep him here. He's got the most to prove. It's Jeff McNeil.
All right. Frank, most to prove.
Brandon Nemo. He's going to be an expiring free agent. If he doesn't want, he has got Boris as his agent. If he doesn't want to be Michael Conforto 2.0 and have a crazy Boris as a crazy asking price, if Nemo doesn't have a great year, he's not going to get that crazy asking price. You look at what guys like Ketel Marte got, some other center fielders have gotten. They've gotten some really nice contracts that are way cheaper than what Conforto was asking for. And I imagine cheaper. I mean, like, is Nemo that much better than Ketel Marte? All right, fine. Well, then I think it's him. If he wants the contract negotiations to go swimmingly, he needs to have a really good year. So that's my guy.
All right. As I'm going to go get some water because my throat is gone right now. Tony, your most approved.
Yeah, it's definitely got to be Jeff McNeil. I don't know who else said it. Was it you, Andrew? Was it you, Elias? Yeah, it's got to be Jeff McNeil. I don't think there's anyone on this team that we're like more unsure of because of how big of a discrepancy there has been from his peak value to his like rock bottom than Jeff McNeil. And this will be his fourth full season in the big leagues now, 2019, 2021. Yeah. So it's like shit or get off the pot. Are you a 300 hitter? Are you a 350 on base guy, slaps the ball over the field, pops some home runs? Or are you a guy last year? Or are you something in between? I don't know, but I want to figure it out because we can't keep going into every year with 2 or 3 guys like McNeil and Smith and JD Davis. Like, well, he showed a glimpse here, but then last year wasn't so good. Like, we can't keep doing that. So this is like make or break for me, at least as far as his time with the Mets for Jeff McNeil.
Hayden? I'll take the hosting duty, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a mixture between McNeil and Lindor. I mean, taking a look at McNeil, I mean, obviously we saw the type of hitter he was in 2019. And then, I mean, in that first half, he was great, on base percentage, just putting the ball in play no matter what. In the second half, he wanted to be a power hitter. And I'll say this, he's the actual second baseman who was not a power hitter. 2020, solid. I mean, I don't like to judge guys off of 2020. In 2021, he just looked completely different. I mean, constantly changing his stance. I think the hamstring definitely a little bit of play into why he was changing his stance. Hence, he's changing his stride, his swing, and that's just going to change literally everything with how he's making contact and hitting the ball. I mean, I want to see this old McNeil put the ball in play, go the other way, BABIP, work the count. 0-2 count, it doesn't mean anything. I want to see that. I think the temper, he's going to have to cool out with that. The Lindor and McNeil thing, I think that's water under the bridge. I think that's done with. I think they've been over that, honestly. Bias is out now, so I think you have less whatever. I easily think it's McNeil offensively. Lindor, definitely, I mean, if you make it $341 million, you're not going to be giving me that bullshit that I saw last season. I'm going to need much more than that. But I guess just as of right now, in terms of players for the Mets and what we've seen, I guess I will go Jeff McNeil.
All right. Tony, you passed it on to Hayden. So, Elias, you're the last one left here.
Yep. To me, there's one answer. It's Francisco Lindor. When you make that kind of money, you got to hit a whole lot better than he did last year. Defense is great and all, but when you're paying that much money, especially with this class of shortstops that was getting hyped up for so long, Story, Lindor, Correa, Simi, and Seager, and we got one of those guys. We were so happy to get one of them, and he played really badly. So he needs to bounce back in a big way. They brought in his buddy at the trade deadline. It looked like he was getting a bit of, team input and whatnot. If you want to have that input or make, help requests, make decisions, stuff like that in the front office, you got to play a whole lot better. And if, he didn't like the booing and whatnot, then play better. Because if this dude getting paid this much money plays like shit again, coming off of another great spring training, he sets our expectations really high and he doesn't play well, then that's going to be bad. Do I think he's going to be playing terribly? No, I think he's going to be a really good player this year.
Okay. I'm surprised this guy has not been said. And to be honest, it gets even sweeter after what we've been seeing these past 2 weeks. Robinson Cano. I mean, prove to us that you're actually fucking sorry. Like, prove to us to be that veteran presence that you were supposed to be. Or, you know what? To be honest, leave, retire, pop a needle again. I really don't give a shit. It's just another second baseman that isn't Javier Baez. So it pisses me off. Fuck you, Robinson Cano. All right. Final one. Wins. How many wins will this team have overall? And then maybe we'll get to some viewer questions and we'll end it off here. Andrew, how many wins does this team get?
75.
That it?
It's the Mets until proven otherwise. It's 75 wins.
That's my same answer too. So I'll just let everybody else, do their full analysis. It's 77 wins until proven otherwise because it's the Mets. I never can be so sure. Frank, how many wins does this team have?
I'm looking at around 92. I just think we still know like there are so many question marks. Obviously, they have a terrible number 5 starter. They have a terrible third baseman, a terrible second baseman. So, I mean, them winning more than 92 games would be a shock with all those guys that are starting being so bad. So, and they have a terrible catcher as well. So, them winning more than 92 games would be a shock.
See, you're getting it. You're getting it. All right. Tony Metro, how many wins does this team have?
I was going to say 92, but after hearing you guys, I think I'm going to drop it down to 90. I want to be safe. 90, I think. I don't know. I'm like, I feel like why we're being so negative here right now. What's the deal? I thought we just gave all kinds of great grades for the offseason. But I am concerned. I am concerned about this bullpen. I am concerned they didn't add very much other than Adam Ottavino. I don't think we have an elite closer. I am a little worried about the overall depth and versatility of the bench. Luis Guillorme, outside of him, who else? JD Davis has stone hands. What's going to happen with Dom Smith? There's definitely some. We're not the strongest team in the National League. There's no doubt about that. And as we saw last year, we weren't the strongest team, even in the NL East, and it was there for the taking. And the Braves ended up swooping it from us. So until proven otherwise, I guess, just kind of like you guys said. But I'm gonna say 90.
Hayden, how many wins?
I'm going to say 84.
84. Okay. Safe bet, I guess, since it's this team. Elias, how many wins?
Yep, I'm agreeing with Tony. I'm going to go 90. Really solid offseason. We question a lot of the holes we have in this team, some of the issues. You got to forget a lot of other teams out there have those same problems, if not worse. Not any team's perfect, and usually the perfect super team doesn't end up living up to expectations most of the time. So say we have a really solid year. We have an actual real manager, something we haven't had in a while, and the best one too I've ever seen.
Okay, yeah, and like I said, 77 wins. Any questions in the chat you guys can give to us? Maybe we'll answer one or two.
I don't
know if we have any starred.
Yeah, I think we have like 2 more of those starred.
Ooh, okay. All right, we'll answer this one, and then we'll be on our way out. Do the Mets have the best rotation in baseball? Anyone want to take a crack at it? I guess it's a buy or sell here, so.
Yeah, I think yes, because who's this better? I know we have questions about the 5 and whatnot. I mean, maybe you're taking the Brewers. They have a great 1, 2, 3, but with a decent back end. But Burns isn't as good as Degrom. Probably better than Scherzer, but Woodruff isn't better than Scherzer. Peralta probably better than Bassitt. But the Dodgers without Bauer, and however you look at him as a pitcher, is that the same rotation as it was last year through the beginning? So we could say it has these issues, but really whose is better right now? I mean, the 1-2 of Degrom and Scherzer is like freaking incredible, man.
All right. Andrew, do we have the best rotation?
No, because again, until proven otherwise, no. I guess Jake and Scherzer are great. We haven't seen him pitch in the same rotation for the Mets. We've seen him in All-Star games. We haven't seen him in a WBC. It's not proven. Again, one, can DeGrom stay healthy, which obviously we think we do. Scherzer, obviously talented, yeah. But proven, no. I'm going to still, they're top 3. I kind of like Toronto too, but I think they're better than Toronto. But they're top 3. Until they prove it on the field, I'm still going to go with the Brewers.
All right. Frank, is this the best rotation?
No, I like Toronto's better. They're the Mets 5 stars are going to have a 7 ERA, so it's going to be impossible.
That is true. Yeah, the Blue Jays have 5. Well, no, they've got Coochie, so they have.
The Astros have depth. The Giants have depth, so I'll give them credit for that. Like the Mets do not have the depth the Giants do.
No,
but they don't have the front end.
And you're not going to get like these 5 guys to make all the starts. You're going to need a lot of different pitchers. So I give the edge to the Giants, the Blue Jays, teams like that.
Okay, Tony. Is the best rotation?
It's so hard to say, just like you guys. 1, 2, 3, obviously Mets, yeah. Best rotation, no doubt, with those 1, 2, 3, Degrom, Scherzer, Corbin, Bassitt. I keep just thinking about him. But yeah, I know 4 and 5 are obviously a concern with Carrasco and with Taiwan Walker. Here's the great news, though. Come playoff time, you really don't need it a whole lot more than 3 starting pitchers. Let's be honest. By the time you get a day off and everything, sometimes you really only go through your first 3 in the rotation. So that is the good news. If we were to stack up in a, say, 7-game series in like the NLCS, I'm taking the Mets rotation of their top 3 pitchers over anybody else's in the league, depending on how the trade deadline goes. But, overall regular season 1 through 5, I'm a little concerned with Walker and with Carrasco for sure. So I can't definitively say this is the best rotation in baseball. Top 5 for sure, but I don't know about the best quite yet.
And I'll take off my hater shades for a second. If they are as good as we think they are, these 1 through 5 will not be the 1 through 5 post-trade deadline. If one of the two stink it up, I'll be neutral. Either one suck. I won't be surprised if there isn't maybe one of the guys from Cincinnati or maybe a team we don't expect who blows it up. This is the 5 now will not be the 5 you finish with.
They could swoop in and get someone from Oakland.
Bing bong! 3-run home run, Nationals. Oh, Edwin Diaz.
Eric,
He's
Eric,
the one that gave up the home run to Soto.
He blew the save. Okay.
Was that a grand
Hayden,
slam?
Have you answered?
No,
3-run homer.
Oh, they'd already taken
They got a run earlier in the inning.
What was the question?
Hayden, is this the best rotation?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of tough. I think it's either between the Mets or what's the team? The
Blue Jays.
Blue Jays, Giants, Rays. Hell, the Rays. How has no one said the Rays?
I think it's either the Mets or the Brewers, really.
Who do the Rays have?
I really
doesn't matter. They know how to pitch.
Doesn't matter.
It don't matter who the hell the name is.
And
They know how
Glasnow's
to
coming
pitch.
back. So.
And Glasnow's coming back. Yeah.
Not till mid-year, though.
Still, it's
Well,
Tampa.
at some point, he'll be back.
I'd say they had the best pitcher in baseball. Then they had the best 1-2 in baseball. Then they had the best 1-2-3 in baseball. Bringing in Bassitt. I'd say the best rotation in baseball, personally, is Degrom, Scherzer, Bassitt, McGill, and then Trevor Williams. But yeah, I don't think so, mainly because there's just some uncertainty. I know there's these guys at the end of the rotation that have had their success, but right now, we'll see. Again, 162-game season. Could be like last year where we were riding on that 1-2-3. The hitting was terrible. And then it all just kind of fell down. I think, to be honest, if this rotation performs the way it's supposed to perform, it all just depends on if Degrom is healthy. And I'm going to stop spoiling stuff from my video, and I'm going to get to the closing remarks for tonight. Andrew, you want to close it out? Go ahead.
Yeah, I did upload a little hype package. I'm as negative as that I am. I did have fun making a little hype package. See, we do got some good ball players. I will be live in a couple hours. Again, MLB The Show drops in a couple hours. I'll be live opening my pre-order packs and open packs and see what the new game mode. I'm not liking what I saw from the stream earlier, but you know what? It's still a fun game, and we'll do that. MLB season predictions for everybody else, and all the division rewards will be out this weekend, and that's pretty much it. Also, did a Reckless Aries interview that dropped mid Mets Weekly.
All right, Frank.
Yep, talking about sports, division predictions coming out hopefully sometime Sunday. And then maybe some game recaps, things like that as the season progresses, and just other things that come to mind as the year goes along. Not just necessarily Mets, but could be other teams as well. So good stuff to be tuned in for.
All right. Elias?
Yep, Big Up Banter Media. Check it out. Season predictions coming up. Can't wait for next Thursday. Opening day, we're finally here. Let's go Mets. Let's get them 90 wins.
All right. Mets Talk with Hayden.
Yeah, what's going on, everyone? Mets Talk with Hayden is the name. Raging is the game. yeah, feel free to check me out. Live streams, videos, been pumping out a lot of stuff lately. I guess like the thing on here is Reckless Airwaves. I spoke with them again today, so I think all of us have been on there at least 5 or 6 times overall, separately. So definitely keep an eye out on that. That's really it. I was gonna say another thing, but I'm kind of having a brain fart. Oh well.
All right, Tony, you there? You can close us out here.
Or not.
Or not. I guess I'll close out my thing.
Damn, he closes like Edwin Diaz. He can't come through clutch. Come on. It was sitting there. I had to take it.
Here, we'll throw this up there for Tony.
There you go.
All
Thank
right.
you to one of our good
There you go. There you go. All right. Thank you, Tony.
Okay,
That was
Tony
very inspirational.
Metro.
Yeah, as for me, I'm just pretty much chipping away at this video. Just keep going and going and going. I'm hoping to get it out before opening day before opening day. And then these guys will probably react to it and tear it apart, and then I'll react to that. And we'll get we'll get a mirror of content for you guys. So other than that, guys, make sure to go subscribe to the Mets Weekly channel. Subscribe to everybody who's in here. Also subscribe to 5PointsVids. His links are in the description. Thank you to him for joining us. Other than that, guys, we'll see you guys next week. It'll be the day of opening day. So we'll recap opening day, maybe do some first impressions like that. But other than that, we'll see you guys next week. Let's go Mets. Baseball is finally here. And yeah, LFGM.